And we're gonna just roll with fucking Grogu here.
Bang, 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 bang.
Got it. Here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Grogu. Welcome into episode 118. Haha, psych, it's Bildo, everybody. I'm back on the YouTube. HP finally fucking fixed my computer. I made a friend, some guy named Steven. He lives in the Philippines. We had a I told Nick about a pretty interesting conversation on the computer every day. We are talking about video games, sports, sex trafficking. It went fucking everywhere. But we got the computer fixed. So we're back, episode 118 of hold on, I've been waiting to do this. Generates. How you doing?
How
I'm
you
excited to be
doing?
back on the computer. Nick, what's going on? How you been
This is great.
Since fucking last week?
Yeah, all good. I mean, this was a fantastic little weekend. I celebrated a lot of stuff. I don't know if you knew. I don't know. We're not very sentimental over here on this show. Remembering stuff, we're very unorganized, obviously, because like I said, I'm bringing this up 2 months later. 2 months ago was our like 1 year of doing the show again, bringing this
I
back
did
up.
not.
Yep.
Happy late 1 year anniversary.
There you go. So yeah, the happy 1 year, and that's obviously a big thanks to everyone listening. And of course, this is our 70th episode together, trying to do the math. So again, what would that make last week's?
We missed the
Yeah,
fucking 69.
yeah,
69
yeah. We missed out on
dudes.
some big fucking jokes. So that's a bummer. But like I said, had a great weekend myself. Went over to my neighbors who he went ahead. This was like his going away party and everything, but I just want to congratulate him and his newly named fiance. Like I said, my neighbor Todd. Fucking him and his fiance. Like they couldn't be happy for the two of them. Him and Nikki. Just congratulations. Couldn't be happy. I mean, to be happier for a fucking cooler guy like himself. I'll admit it myself. I cried right away. He comes up, my neighbor comes up to me. He asks, you little stony, because I'm like my eyes are red as shit. But I'm like, yeah, but no, I'm crying because I'm welling up, man. I'm fucking. I mean, yeah, I'm just a little bitch when it comes to really happy moments like that.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them.
That's
And
neat. Yeah, you've
yeah,
you've lived next to him probably your fucking whole life, right?
yeah, entire life. So
Yeah,
that's
I've
yeah, that was
yeah,
great. And
always
then
I've known Todd too
just
from high
celebrated
school.
my 2 year anniversary with my girlfriend.
Hey, happy
Happy belated.
anniversary.
Happy belated to Yessie. If you can see, finally added a little picture to that little White Sox little picture frame as well. And then just to show it off, because she's gonna be watching, she got this as well. She made a little
Oh,
cartoon.
that's pretty neat.
You can fuck off with this glare, but there we
I
go. That's how
know.
you do it.
Glare's brutal
There
today.
we go. That's us. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that is pretty neat.
that was great. Had a fantastic time. Great dinner at Maria's, the Mexican restaurant.
Oh
So,
yeah,
uh,
Maria's dude, the
enchilada
best.
plate and that sample platter. We had a fun little time. So that was just a great weekend. I feel like I'm talking about myself too much.
Oh,
You do anything fantastic over the weekend? Because I
no.
got all
Well,
that.
actually, yeah, we did a little something fun. Finally finished Stranger Things.
Oh,
I know I
okay.
was about a month behind. Me and my girlfriend, we've been watching it, we've been catching up, and we finally finished it on Friday night. Rest in peace to my boy Eddie. Loved him, but he went out like a fucking savage. I was so excited to watch that scene because everyone's been, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it. I got a
Because
buddy of
obviously,
mine.
big Metallica, big
Yeah,
metalhead guy.
exactly. I had a buddy of mine, Mike Fitzgerald, who listens a lot. Shout out to Fitz. Uh, he had called me like the week after it came out on Netflix, and he's like, "Bill, have you seen Stranger Things yet?" I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "Dude, there's this scene in there," and I was watching it, and I was laying in bed, and I immediately sat up, and I was like, "Bill's gonna fucking go crazy when he sees this shit," and I did. So that was nuts. And but whatever, we finished Stranger Things and we went to that pop-up over in Oakbrook, which
Oh, nice.
it was all right. You took some cool pictures, they had some cool little props in there. They were sold out of most of the cool shit that they had. I mean, we went Saturday and Sunday was the last day that it was going to be
Makes
open, so the
sense.
dude was like, we're pretty much sold out of everything. um we couldn't get in. I don't know if I told you this. I definitely told Mike. We couldn't get in because you needed a reservation, and it's like 6 o'clock, 6:30, and you needed like a ticket to get in. And we fucking drive all the way out to it's not all the way, but we drive out to Oak Brook. We find where it is in the mall. We're waiting in line for like 10, 15 minutes, and we get to the front, and they're like, "Oh, do you have a reservation?" And I'm like, no, we don't have a reservation. We were
Ugh.
we were told by both Mike and one of my girlfriend's friends that they just walked right in. So we figured we were gonna walk right in. And we were pissed because we were looking forward to going in there. So
To
I
be
sort of
fair,
thought,
Mike did go very early on, like the
yeah,
week or two that
yeah.
it like just opened. So yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, well, we're all the way out here. At least I got to at least try to get in. So I went to the nearest directory board, found the fucking only ATM apparently in the only mall because I don't carry cash. Took out $20. My girlfriend had $10. We got back in line, and we get up to the front of the line. The dude's like, "Oh, were you able to make a Or no, it was a different dude. He's like, "Oh, you got your reservation?" And I like pulled my phone out and I like put it like this, and I had like the money on top of it. And I was like, "Here's my reservation right here." And dude, he was like some 18-year-old kid, didn't give a shit. You know, he was just working there to make some money to go spend on pot or pussy or Portillo's or whatever the fuck. And he didn't give a shit. So he took the $30 and he like looked around. He's like, go in. I was like, thanks, have fun. Or I said thanks, and he said have fun. And so that was cool. We took some fun pictures. That was really it. That was
Yeah, that's
really
what it
it
seemed
over
like.
the
It seemed
fucking
like
weekend.
just a photo op thing in a
Yeah.
gift shop. So I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, seemed like it was pretty decent. Pretty decent. I don't know about you, but I have if that was just the end of your weekend, I know I got a fuck ton of fantasy drafts coming up. I don't know. I have.
Yeah,
Let
don't
me
we all?
let me take a quick look at my little schedule here. I have I'm going to be drafting for my brother's 12-man league this coming Thursday night. So that's going to be pretty cool. We
Ooh.
just won last year's and, split a little money on that. So that was pretty cool. So going to be doing that. Sunday morning, I'll be having my 8-man championship belt league live in person draft. Like I said, Sunday morning. Can't fucking wait for that. We literally just got off the fucking group chat just talking about how much we just can't wait. We're just fucking dipping and diving. That's gonna be a really special one again. 10-year anniversary in that league.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh yeah, we've been playing since high school. It's just so much fun. So all the original crew is basically
Yeah.
there. Finally Monday night, I got an invite to a buddy of mine from ISU from college. So a little money thrown in there as well, just $20. But I did find out I'm the number one overall pick. Jonathan
Ooh.
Taylor, come to Papa. That's all I gotta say.
Jonathan
Like,
Taylor.
that's
You
all
I
I
got
gotta say.
back-to-back years. I got fucking first overall pick again this year too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got
It's gonna be the number 2 overall in my brother's 12-man. So that's gonna be pretty big considering it's 12-man. I don't want to get lost in the weeds and like that late in that round. But anyway,
yeah.
the 8-man, we find out literally an hour or two beforehand. We
Oh
throw it in a
shit.
hat, and we just decide right then and there. So I mean, we're kind of well adjusted in that league. I'll be going. I feel like with all these drafts coming up, I feel like we can go over without showing our ass, without showing our whole hand, like going over some of our favorite tips that we do for the drafts. But like, I feel like with this 8-man, with being 10 years, we know everybody. We kind of know everyone's tendencies and stuff like that. So that isn't the worst thing for something like that. But I feel like for the other 2 leagues, that's something that you definitely need. So I don't know. I kind of got a little bit of list. I got a list right here of stuff that I do for my drafts. Like I said, not my in depth of everything that I do for my personal stuff, but I don't know if anything you just wanted to share, maybe off the top of your head, or anything that you usually do that you
Yeah.
make sure that you do. What's your like main staples?
Yeah.
I know a couple for sure, but go.
No Packers.
Yes.
That's the first rule. I'll never draft a Green Bay Packer. I will pick one up off waivers if someone like a couple years ago, Robert Tunyon out of nowhere started catching fucking touchdowns every week. I'll pick him up and trade him. But I will
Mm.
never draft and I will never start a Green Bay Packer on my team. Um, yeah, there's a couple rules that I always try and implement in my leagues. I'm a big volume guy, so I look for guys who touch the ball a lot. And
Hmm.
I know, there's some guys out there like DK Metcalfs who are like big play guys. They might not get 8, 9 catches a game, but when they do, one of the catches is like a 50-yard touchdown catch or something like that. I personally like to stay away from guys like that. I've always been a volume guy. I'm big like that going wide receivers. There's so many wide receivers you can draft, and I feel like this year there's a lot of decent receivers. I'd almost rather take like a number 2 on a good offense than a number 1 on a bad offense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I look at. Obviously, there's a couple exceptions, and I've been high on him all year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, he's a number 1. He's going to be on a bad offense, but I still think he's going to be top fucking 15 wide receiver in the league this year. So me personally, I always like to take, let's just say it was healthy. I'd rather take like a number 2 Chris Godwin over a number 1 on the fucking, I don't know, on the Lions or on the Jaguars or on the Jets.
Are you going to take
like
Chris
that.
Godwin over Brandon Cooks?
Oh, that's a perfect example. And if Chris Godwin is healthy, if he's playing all 17 games, which he's not this year,
yeah, I would
miss
like
take
5
Godwin.
weeks.
Yeah, I would take Godwin, but
okay.
This year with him missing, handful of weeks, like you said, probably go Cooks. Yeah, yeah.
At least if he falls at a nice sweet spot, definitely can take
Cooks,
a little risk on him.
Cooks every year is
he's a reception machine.
Top 20. He finds a way into the top 20 every single year.
Absolutely.
No matter what team he's on, whether it was the Texans, whether he was on the Rams, whether he was on the Patriots before that dude finds a way into his fucking in the top 20. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, I have a couple.
Let's hear some of your rules. Yeah.
So yeah, simple. I got some pretty simple. Like I said, I don't want to show entirely, and then some that, like I said, I make sure that I maintain. Just staying organized. Simply just when you're making your own rankings. I have all the time, and they can make fun of me and whatever. I write everything down in a fucking notebook. I have my personal rankings all mapped out the night before, the week beforehand. I'll cross out everything as I go because I want to see, in my personal opinion, again, who's reaching. Again, in my mind, this is my personal rankings, but I'm kind of basing it off of a lot of, this is just, I compare and contrast age shit ton because everyone and their mother posts their rankings because everyone's an expert in fantasy football. So
especially all the dude. That's another rule I totally forgot. Don't listen to anyone on TikTok. If some dude is like, I got the number 1 pick, he's going 180th, but he's gonna win you your league. Don't listen to that fucking guy.
Exactly. It's just shit like that. So yeah, just see who's getting like reached on and compare and in contrast of that. Like maybe you can detect who can fall, like guys that you like. They're like, oh, this guy, he's just that doesn't seem to be on anyone's radar in this room. I can go ahead and snag him a round or 2 later than I need to. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into my next one, KYP, know your personnel. Being able to you're predicting everybody else's tendencies based on what they've already shown you. Maybe you've been in other mock drafts with them, or maybe just like I said, you've been in the same league for 10, 15, 20 years. These guys. So whether it's just, I don't know, if you think they're going to reach on somebody, or in the exact opposite, if you guys have been talking up a sleeper, a quote unquote sleeper, and then that you're like, okay, I might personally have to reach on them because they're talking this guy up so highly, just something like that. So know your personnel, know who you're going to be drafting with, just stuff like that. It's as simple as that. Just other stuff like that. Just
plan out like Nick said, go off your rankings because I know everybody has different websites. There's Yahoo, there's ESPN, there's a bunch of different platforms people do fantasy on, and the rankings are everywhere. I can personally say, I'm in 2 leagues and both of them are on ESPN, and I think I've always played in ESPN. There are some guys who are sitting, I'm not going to say names because they're guys I'm targeting, but there are guys sitting in like the 45 to like 60 range that I personally would put in like the 30 to 40 range. So
just shit like that.
That's just, there's always guys like that. You just got to pick them out. And that's honestly a test too.
And there's huge things like that where I thought, perfect example last year was Myles Gaskin. I thought Myles Gaskin was going to be a phenomenal fucking player last year. Thought he was going to explode. He had a pretty decent rookie season. Thought he was going to follow up with a banger of a sophomore season. Absolutely shat the bed. I was so upset when Allen picked him in the draft over me. But damn, throughout the year, slowly every single week, I was like, that's a relief.
Worked out.
It's a big relief that I don't have him because he put up like a game that was like he put up 0.4 points at one point. So just something like that, just something terrible. And in my mind, it's exactly that. Just going back to what you just said, go on your rankings, maybe plan out a couple rounds in drafts, do mock drafts, literally make your own draft on a fucking piece of paper, make boxes, put people's names in it, make your own scenarios, try and figure it out. It could be I don't know, like you said, just be prepared for anything. And that's literally my exact next thing, be prepared for anything, because I don't know, you need to be able to adapt. I've seen running backs I've seen backup running backs go in the first round, mid-tier defenses go in the fourth round, and kickers
Your
go
one
over
buddy,
top.
who was that last year?
I was
Bears.
I was trying to be nameless, but yeah, Dom took like the Bears defense.
Throw him in the bathroom.
Dom,
you picked the Bears in the fourth round,
like the fourth or the fifth round or something like
league?
that. I would have to review it, but yeah, it was something really deep, and then
clown.
Just shit like that. So fantasy football is crazy. It's insane. Expect the unexpected. It's as cliche as it is, but you need to.
And maybe one other thing I always like doing: implement a punishment for last place.
Ooh,
it not only makes the league like it's not only fun, between buddies, 8, 10, 12, however many guys you got. I'm guessing most of the guys are buddies. You're close. It makes the league fun, and it also stops the losers from giving up towards the end. Like they have something to play for. And really, at the end of the year, incentive. Let's just say, McCaffrey gets hurt, your top receiver gets hurt, you're 1-9. I don't want to fucking play anymore. It gives that dude something to play for, so it's competitive until the very end. Don't just no one likes that dude who's just fucking not setting lineups, not giving a shit towards the end of the year because he's not having the best year. Make a fucking last place punishment, and I don't know. We were thinking of a couple this year. We were thinking of some good ones. We were gonna do the WNBA game one. That's a good one. The one that I like, loser has to go on a 2-hour date with a blow-up sex doll in a very public place too. I'm talking like Chasers or Sneakers on like a Saturday night. You got to get all dressed up in a suit and a tie, and you got to take this sex doll out.
You can do 2-hour cap, but yeah, it might be like a variation until you get kicked out for just having a sex doll with you. He's gonna raise a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So yeah. Just some more quick ones. Watch your buys. Just shit like that. Going back to like preparing for the unexpected. It can literally be just like you can come in with a game plan, but also be able to adapt out of your game plan because something crazy can happen. And maybe you get the 5th pick. You're like, oh, I'll probably just end up picking a wide receiver or something like that. And then somehow, some way, Christian McCaffrey falls to you at 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
you gotta be like, I'm gonna have to just take McCaffrey and then build from there. So just like I said, I've like I said, no crazy scenario like that, but it could be anything crazy like that. So like I said, watch your bye weeks. Don't have too many people on the same team. Last year I had Gibson and Terry McLaurin on the same team. While they were probably the best guys in their position on that team, they were on a really shitty offense. So if you're gonna be doing that, just be mindful. And then just if you're in bigger leagues, like I said, just be aware of the depth chart, just shit like that. Don't draft with your heart, draft with your head. Numbers are always your friends, not your dumbass feelings. And finally, most importantly, I don't want to get this wrong. I felt like I typed this out really nice, so I don't want to do this. When you play these people in your league, they're no longer your friends. They're no longer your family. They're not your cousin, your dad, your uncle. They're nothing. They're your mortal enemy, sent to rip fantasy football glory away from you and make you look weak. So for 17 weeks out of the year, you need to act as though your team is a horde of Viking raiders sent to rape and pillage unsuspecting villages all along the coastline with one goal in mind: utter and pure domination. Success is a river of blood with their corpses along the shoreline, washing down as you are on top of that stream, holding your fantasy football trophy, saying, huzzah, huzzah. That, my friend, is fantasy football.
That is.
Hopefully, only afterward you can pick up the pieces and you'll have some sort of communication with these people without law enforcement being needed in presence. So go forth, go into your fantasy football drafts. Good luck, everybody, with that. That's it on fantasy football. It's the most exciting time for me.
Once the championship's over, no hard feelings anymore. It's all just competition during the season. Yeah. Can't hold none of that. Said and done some crazy things to people to try and get in their head and try and get wins against them in fantasy football, but at the end of the day, it's all just in good fun, I guess.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm excited for? We ordered ourselves a belt in our 12-man league, and we got one of those custom ones.
Club. There you go.
We got one of the custom ones. It says our team name. We got all the previous winners on the side of it. Yeah, I need it. I saw it, and you know what? Our commissioner ordered it, and our commissioner is Tim, and he lives down in Arkansas. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Just send it to my house, and I'll give it to the winner. But I don't want him to. I don't because if he sent that to me, I would feel wrong having it. Tim, he's never won the fucking league. He doesn't know what it's like to earn that fucking belt. And I want to go out and I want to earn it this year.
Yeah.
And first overall pick, Justin Fields.
You heard it here first.
Oh, crazy.
There we go.
No, honestly, you said you got the first overall pick.
The first overall for sure in my 10-man buddies from college league.
Okay.
The number 2 in my brother's league. Like I said, I won't know in my 8-man until the day of. Maybe I said an hour or two beforehand.
So. I can talk about this because I got the solidified first overall pick. So talking strategy doesn't really hurt me at all with the first overall pick. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy going into week 1, I'm picking him first overall.
Yeah,
I'm picking him first overall.
I mean, bunch of people. You can make a ton of arguments. If you're in PPR, everything fully healthy. I mean, a fully healthy Christian McCaffrey is probably going to get more volume than Jonathan Taylor. I feel like we fail to see that Derrick Henry eclipsed everybody for basically 11 weeks when he was hurt in like the 6th or 7th week. So I don't know if you want to also factor that in. I'm also considering strength of schedule. I'm being hopeful. I'm looking at what their playoff schedule is going to look like come fantasy. Their 3 games in that little playoff schedule. So just be mindful. I'm not going to taint you with anything. And I think what I might do in so I mean, it's gonna. I don't know if I feel like if a lot of people if you don't take Jonathan Taylor 1-1, it's gonna be like, oh, I mean, might be a free for all.
Yeah, it's a risk. I think it's the most risky pick. It's the most risky pick you can make right there. If he stays healthy, he's gonna put up fucking 400 points. Like it's insane. But do you want to risk that 3rd straight year with a season-ending injury? I mean, I drafted him first overall last year. It can't happen 2 years in a row, right? So that's it could though. It could. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait for the fucking reports.
Yeah, and, I think I'll do the exact same.
I got a feeling, our buddy who likes to listen to the podcast, AJ, a guy in your league, I got a feeling he wants me to pick Taylor so he can get McCaffrey. I just feel like that's an AJ move there, and I think I'm going to take AJ, or I'm going to take AJ's boy away from him.
There you go. You can definitely do that. Without further ado, if you got any more tips and tricks on fantasy, we can dive in on some White Sox and Cubs before we do, MLB. You got our AFC West breakdown brought to you by PointsBet. Code SYS9. Go ahead and do that. NFL news. Got a little NBA news as well. We can talk about Usman getting knocked the fuck out and making me lose money.
Devastating.
And then of course, wrestling. Oh yeah, that was fucking insane. The juice out of his eye came out. If you saw that, that's what it looked. He got kicked. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like he got kicked so hard, fucking sweat out of his eyeball came out. So just like so
His
wicked fast.
fucking eyeball juice was leaking.
So yeah. Yeah, like I said, we got White Sox Cubs update. Well, who you feeling first? What are you gonna do first?
I think I started off last week, so I'll let you take it over with the White Sox.
Oh boy.
Start things off.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, let's just rip the band-aid off. Go ahead and remind me to just stop complimenting slash giving hope to this team because every time I do, every time that little red light goes off after we hit the little stop button on the record, the stocks proceed to just piss in my face. So yeah, that might as well. That may have been the season right there. We split with Houston, sure, and it was all good considering I thought we were going to get completely swept, but losing 21-5 is going to haunt this team. It truly is. It shows just based on the two games we had to put on our full 100% effort coming back from those two nights and getting those two wins. Lost a heartbreaker in game 3, but just completely getting pantsed and kicked down a flight of stairs in game 4. Just going to be an absolute detriment to this ball club. Might be, that might have wrapped it up right then and there, honestly. The only excuse, realistically, I can say was 17-5. Josh Harrison did come in and pitch, and he gave up 4 runs. I don't know if you know, him and Yadier Molina now share the same ERA at 18. So that's, I guess that's the good. It's always good to be in the same sentence as a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it is something bad like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something unique.
Yeah. So I mean, this just shows that putting up our quote unquote 100% best effort to these top tier teams, it only shows. I mean, we're only going to get these wins if they're on their off days. Even at the White Sox best, we're not going to match up to the production that the Astros are. They're the number 1 team in the AL. It's going to be them and the Yankees in the AL for sure. It's just not even going to be it's not even going to be an issue. Especially like I said, you got TA gone for basically the entire regular season. Eloy goes down again. Luis Roberts on a milk carton, and Grandal blew out his knee, literally just attempting to run. It's that bad. No, I mean that's there. So I mean we're still 3 games out, but we might as well be 20 games out. We've acknowledged it before. No one else besides the division winner in the AL Central is going to make the playoffs. You got these wild card teams that are actually maintaining competitiveness, showing no signs of slowing down. And sure enough, we're going to be playing them today, tomorrow, and the next day. We're going to be playing the Baltimore Orioles. They've taken 2 out of 3 in the last 5 series or better. They including a sweep against the Rangers earlier this month. They're on an absolute tear. All signs are pointing in the directions of we're fucked. Tony finally said something that I completely agree with. This team is lousy. Yeah, this team's fucking lousy. Like I said, this team just sucks out loud. The popular image that seems to be circulating on the internet, I don't know. I think it might have been taken from some child psychology book. I don't know what it is exactly. It's got the one guy on one end of the bus and the other guy on the other end of the bus. You see one guy sees the really scary, dark, creature infested mountainside, and the other one sees the glorious, sunshiny trees and flowers side. Yeah. And they say the same thing, but in different tones. And that's exactly what's going on right now. It was the picture of that with the quote, the White Sox season is almost over. So I guess that's my question. Are you going to be the fan on this? What fan are you going to be on this metaphorical bus ride? The depressed fan is kind of like what I've seen. I've seen this talent just completely wasted away throughout the season. Or are you going to try and see the positive, be the positive side, be the positive fan? Like, oh, this season's almost over. It's just maybe there's hope, maybe in that side, or maybe it was just hope that like, hey, maybe it's finally over. Maybe I can focus on bigger and better things. Me personally, I wish I was the guy that got ran over by the bus miles ago, so I don't have to fucking worry about the Sox dropping must-win games to the fucking Royals, for God's sake. So it's literally whatever at this point with this team. I'll be going to the game on Friday, but that was only because I got free tickets. So I mean, if it's not a free giveaway, I'm going for free anyways. So that's nice. Depending on how the week goes, you may or may not catch me with a paper bag on my head, cut out with the sad face in it. So I don't know. Get a grip. Find some fucking balls. Stop getting hurt, and win some ball games. I can say go White Sox, but that's about it. other than that, in the meantime, we signed Elvis Andrews 5 years too late, even though he's actually, producing the first couple of games. Still nothing on the one column to show for it. Johnny Cueto is literally Jesus Christ. That's it. Go White Sox.
Yeah, Johnny Cueto has been a godsend for the Sox. I'd agree. Like, obviously, most of the fans for the White Sox have to be on like the gloomy, dark side of the bus. I mean, this was the third year after 2 straight playoff appearances. This was the year you're supposed to put it all together. Everybody stays healthy, and that's just been the thing with the White Sox. They cannot stay healthy. When one guy gets hurt, when one guy gets healthy, another guy gets hurt. Eloy comes back. Eloy comes back. Robert gets some fucking dizziness, and then TA breaks his thumb or whatever he does, and then Eloy gets hurt again, and then Grandal, and it's just like you can't. You need consistency in baseball. It's not where, it's not like some of these other sports where you could sort of tank it in for a part of the season and then we'll just be there at the end. Baseball, you got to stay consistent, especially going into the last month and a half like we're in right now. I mean, if there is any positive side for the White Sox, it is their schedule remaining. You got Baltimore, you got Arizona, you got Kansas City, you got Oakland. I think you got a 4-game set against Oakland. You got Colorado, Detroit, San Diego. They've been, even with the Juan Soto trade, they've been playing just some baseball ever since I feel like the Fernando Tatis news sort of demoralized that team a little bit because they've been struggling a little. But the White Sox do have a favorable schedule to end the season. So that's, I guess, the one positive thing you got to look forward to.
That would basically be it.
I mean, you're two games back. You can get that in that one weekend series against the fucking against Oakland. Like the Sox should take all 4 in that.
Yeah, you would really hope so. But I mean, at this point, you can't guarantee games anymore. Can't do anything like that. Trying to review the weekend. I mean, we're gonna have another makeup game against the Guardians. It's gonna be these series against these division teams that decided the last two out of our 3 series are gonna be against, like I said, against the Twins. I think we have one more series against the Guardians, and now we're gonna be another makeup game mixed in there somewhere. So
yeah,
I don't know, but like I said, we're getting these must-win games, getting these and on paper we're favorited by a million, and we're just getting our fucking dick kicked in by the Royals, by the Mariners, by just teams that just shouldn't be head and shoulders above us. It's embarrassing, and I guess you can actually sit there and blame it on injury. It's been honestly laughable. We went over that fucking little clip where everyone on every single body part has been injured somewhat, some way on the White Sox this year, but it's just not excusable. It's not a real team. Some sort of organization would have figured it out. Again, we go back to no moves being made at the trade deadline. Just no, I guess maybe not the proper call ups from AAA or something like that. We haven't seen any Jake Berger. We haven't like, I don't know, maybe Colson Montgomery's a little too young. I don't know. But I don't know, just not getting the production that we need. It's like I said, I don't know whether to be the doomy gloomy fucking fan just yet, or try and be the hopeful one, or be the dead one on the side of the road.
And apparently, looks like Michael Kopech got placed on the IL today too.
There you go.
15-day IL, straining his knee.
Cool.
In warm up prior to his last start.
No, that makes complete sense. No, that makes complete sense. I got nothing on that other than I probably just, I think there's no sharp objects around me, right? Yeah, we're fine. So yeah, we're good.
All right, we'll do a little north side, talkage here. Not a whole lot since the last time we recorded.
Oh, a rope.
Oh, a rope. Nick's gonna go down to their basement where the rafters are exposed, and we'll see him next week. Maybe
Brooks was here.
Yeah. Since last week, Cubs. Like I said, I needed the Cubs to lose all 3 against Washington, and they took 2 out of 3 in Washington. Won a makeup game against a pretty good team in the Orioles right now, 3-2 last Thursday. Won 2 out of 3 at home over the weekend against the Brewers, and then dropped last night's Monday night game against the St. Louis Cardinals, 1-0. Albert Pujols hits his 973rd home run, the only run of the game. But the Cubs lead right now against the Cardinals 2-0 in looks like the bottom of the 8th inning. One interesting stat I saw the other day, as of yesterday, August 22nd, since June 17th, the Cubs, record-wise, have been a better team than the New York Yankees, which is pretty crazy. The Cubs had 29 wins to 27 losses, and the Yankees 26 wins to 32 losses. So, that's definitely positive right there. It's been fun to watch the Cubs. They other than the loss last night, the Cubs were on a nice little 5-game win streak there, dating back to last Tuesday. It's How do I say this? It's been what we've said all year. There's been glimpses of hope in this shit season, and we've talked about all the young players, all the prospects. Another guy who's going to be a big name coming up, Alexander Canario, outfielder for the Cubs. And I pulled up his numbers the other day. He's been absolutely killing it down in the minors. Through 105 games, he has 102 hits, 24 doubles, 31 RBI or 31 home runs, 83 RBIs, 20 stolen bases for a corner outfielder. So he's got some speed. Only batting 256, but that don't mean shit anymore. With an OPS of 895. So this dude's been killing it down in the minors for the Cubs. He'll be up soon, along with Luis Devers, who's also a starting pitcher for the Cubs down in the minors. This season, 23 games, he's 11-3 with a 1.92 ERA and just over 100 innings pitched. Only has given up 75 hits, 22 earned runs in 103 innings. That's pretty impressive. Only 20 walks and 104 strikeouts for Luis Devers. So those are two names I don't think I've mentioned yet this year, that I'm excited to see in a major league, on the major league team. Maybe not next year, but definitely come 2024, I could see them, cracking the fucking major league team. They're still pretty young. But talking about the major league team and a guy that I've been talking about all year, Justin Steele, you got to give him his fucking props. He went out and got another big win Saturday against who was it? Saturday against the Brewers. No, he didn't get the win. He got the no decision, but he had a fucking hell of a game pitched. In his last 7 starts, he is 5-0 in his last 7 starts with a 1.45 ERA, 34 hits, only 6 earned runs, and 44 strikeouts. So I love what I've seen out of him this year. Finish the season strong. Him and Keegan Thompson are that new 1-2 for the Cubs, it looks like, going forward. We did get some bad news that Kyle Hendricks is officially shut down for the rest of the season. He's got a tear in his throwing shoulder. I don't know how you tear something when you can barely throw the ball 86 miles an hour, but apparently he tore something. So he's going to be out for the rest of the season. He hopes to, have a full recovery by the beginning of next year. And depending on the moves the Cubs make, I mean, we've seen Marcus Stroman. He's been great this year. Drew Smiley out of nowhere has been an amazing pickup for the Cubs. And then you add Justin Steele, Keegan Thompson, and whoever else is the number 5. Fucking Cubs, looking forward, definitely not next year, but if they can add a couple big names, maybe another big pitcher like they did with John Lester back in 2015, Cubs, I feel like, can be contenders in the next 2-3 years again. So
and it may not be this roster necessarily. It could just be like this office being able to eyeball talent like that, which is pretty cool if you're able to do a little money ball type action like that.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of guys that are on the roster right now I expect to be there when the Cubs are contenders again. I mean, Horner, Madrigal for sure.
Oh, you would need maybe at least 1 or 2 actual key contenders. But if you find, if you get like a guy like Drew Smiley getting, and maybe like may not necessarily be him, but get a guy like him getting his best ball that he hasn't played just out of nowhere, something just to get in the fucking spark just out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
Seems fun.
I mean, we'll see what they do at Wilson Contreras. I feel like you have to extend him now that you didn't trade him.
Yeah.
But knowing the Cubs front office, they probably just won't do that. But whatever. We got a 4-game series against St.
Maybe a
Louis coming up.
small 2-year deal for a lot of guaranteed money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would take something 2-3 year deal for a lot of money. I'm all for that.
Good for the player, good for the
Yeah.
organization.
Cubs got St. Louis for 4 coming up. We got another weekend series in Milwaukee, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we travel north of the border, and we got the Blue Jays, who they're red hot right now. The Yankees are sputtering. I put a bet on the fucking hey, Cubs win 2-0 over the
Yes,
St.
they
Louis
did.
Cardinals. There we go.
I was actually watching the last couple innings. There's nothing
Yeah,
on right now.
we got a ticket on Toronto to win the AL East from spring training. So hopefully they keep winning and the Yankees keep losing. I think they're only like 7 games back of the Yankees, which, hey, if the Yankees keep playing like shit, that's doable for them to come back and take that division. So
Absolutely.
rooting for the fucking Toronto Blue Jays from here on out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, was that on the Cub guy?
That's it, yeah.
Anybody that can't go north of the border because they didn't get their little.
No, I think everybody on the Cubs everyone on the Cubs is vaccinated. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes the sense. Well, yeah, I guess you kind of made mention to it. The only other I actually had 2 we didn't really dive in, and I kind of jumped in right away on some stuff. Uh Whatever. Albert Pujols is 7 home runs away from 700. Is he juicing? Is my question.
No way. No fucking way.
Yeah,
Albert Pujols, he's the best right-handed hitter of all time. We've said that. You can go back and forth with him or Miggy. But no, this dude's always killed left-handed pitching, and it's great. It's funny. All of his home runs, he had a home run last night off of Drew Smiley, lefty. He had 2 home runs over the weekend in the same game against who the fuck was it against? Against the Diamondbacks, and Madison Bumgarner was pitching. He hit both home runs off Bumgarner. He's always killed left-handed pitching, even in his old age now. So he primarily only plays against lefties. So he's 7 away. I hope he fucking gets it. I know he's said he doesn't care about the home run number. Like this is it for him.
That's what they all say.
Even if he ends at 699, he says that's it. But I'd like to get to that 700 mark. If I'm him and as a fan, that'd be insane to see a guy like that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. You see guys like all the fucking the big home run hitters and the guys in baseball nowadays. It's crazy that Pujols and Miguel Cabrera have like higher batting averages than them. Like they're both batting like 250. And granted,
I think Miguel Cabrera is leading the Tigers in batting average.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's limited at bat, so it might be a little inflated compared to someone who plays every single day. But to see these dudes batting 250, 260, and they're in their upper 30s, almost 40 years old. Pujols is probably in his 40s. He lied about his age. To see them still batting 260 and still performing, that's insane. It just shows they are the 2 best right-handed hitters in history of baseball.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, that was my only other follow-up. He's basically the same thing, 698, 699, whatever he finishes at the season, he's going to be done. He'll come back for a 10-day for something.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really do.
He'll get there. Otherwise, I mean, maybe someone just get him the nod at like game 161, game 162, just be like, hey, it's going to be a fastball. And you'd be like, what? Like, it's going to be a fastball.
Like they did with Jeter. Like they did with Jeter's last at bat. Yeah, exactly. They grooved him a fucking 2-seam right down the middle. And he took it to right field.
Exactly. I just shit like that. I didn't get to it in the beginning, kind of dived into our weekends and went right into fucking draft advice and shit. But ESPN Plus is going to have a new show called Banana Land. It's going to be focused all on our favorite team from Savannah, Georgia, the Savannah Bananas, as they tour around the world on their 10-city tour, going, I don't even know what the cities, but not coming over here, which sucks. But gonna see some banana ball on ESPN Plus, I guess. But that's gonna be cool to check out. Also, something to follow up, the pitcher that we kind of mentioned about, former Boston Red Sox, old as shit, Bill Lee, collapses on the field. I don't know if you saw anything updated on that. He collapsed on the field. Paramedics had to revive him, and he's looking like he's okay. I mean, he's
Yeah,
probably
he
not going to
says
be
he's
pitching
okay.
anymore, but
Someone put something on social media. They took a picture with him in the hospital. He was fine. They say he's fine now. I think he's what 75, 76, and he passed out, or he passed out warming up in the bullpen, which is pretty fucking scary. So, um, so I forgot who it was. Someone said they thought he was joking, like they were in the bullpen and he was on the ground. And they're like, what the fuck is he doing laying down? And then they realized he had passed out,
they
and they
realized he's
had,
a 75-year-old man
exactly.
playing baseball,
Yeah,
and they need to
exactly.
go
Probably
need to go attend to him.
probably gotta call it a career there, Jim. Once you're
Yeah.
passing out and you gotta get fucking defibrillated in the fucking dugout of a Savannah banana game, like it's time to hang up the cleats, Bill.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more embarrassing stories, but having to get your Savannah Bananas jersey ripped off is probably up there.
They gotta fucking cut it off. It's like, what the fuck are who the
The
bananas? Never
bananas.
heard of this team.
Yeah, no, but hopefully it would be good. And all jokes aside, hopefully he's all fine and well and dandy. Hopefully he just stays
Yeah.
off the mound, but he's gonna be forever immortalized. That was pretty fucking awesome. Just probably for those lucky few who got to see him pitch in a Savannah Bananas jersey. So that was pretty fucking awesome to see. You had a fun one other than that, just to be on the lighter side of things. Heard about getting a BJ at the A's game. Oh,
Dude,
OMG.
I don't know
Many letters.
if you guys listening saw this video clip, but over the weekend, the
We're not
Oakland
showing it.
A's,
We're not showing it. Sorry.
to be fair, it was a very zoomed out
Okay. I
video,
didn't
so you
see it.
don't see any dick and balls. It's not like someone had the fucking camera right up on the guy's taint. I love that word, taint.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, the Oakland Athletic had a fucking game
It's
over the
been using
weekend.
two different terms now.
Yeah, they had a game over the weekend, playing against Seattle. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure exactly. It had to be Saturday. Yeah, it had to be Saturday. So Saturday, they had a 4-3 win, extra inning wins against the Mariners, and I guess the game was so boring at
Or
some
so
point.
exciting.
Yeah, I get you're right. Exciting. Boing. A guy who was sitting up in legit the nosebleeds. There was no one within 5 fucking sections of this dude. He was sitting up there with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend started fucking topping him off in the middle of the stadium. And someone across, like kitty corner on the stadium, got a video of it, and it's been going all over the internet. And then come Sunday, they had a don't come. I'm gonna come. Love that. But come Sunday's game, they actually had someone posted another video yesterday, and they actually had 2 security guards standing in each section in the upper deck now. So
Upper dick.
looks like upper dick. Looks like no more blowjobs at Oakland A's games. I mean, that's epic though. That's like out of places to get a blowjob, it'd be like at the top of a mountain, on a roller coaster. I feel like would be pretty fun, and then just hanging out.
What? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so many bumps, and that's a lot of like.
No, a nice smooth one, like the Raging Bull, like right when you're at the top, near you go down, and imagine how fucking deep that thing goes down with the fucking negative G forces. Feel like fucking Top Gun, top head, given top. Oh, dude, we're fucking hitting it with the alliterations today. That's definitely not the term, but I don't
Words
know.
aren't hard
I
today.
barely fucking passed that class. And then yeah, just chilling top row at a baseball game on a nice sunny California Saturday day with a hot dog, a beer, a big pretzel, and a fucking dick in your mouth. I mean, that's gotta be that's gotta be like a top 5. Maybe that's a list we think of put together and talk about one day. Top 5 blowjob locations. Where would you like to get blown in your lifetime?
Oh, there you go.
At a baseball
that
game, that'd be a good spot. I'd like to get one in Colorado, right up behind home plate. You got the sunset and the mountains going down. I feel like Mile High. That'd be yeah, that'd be a good place to
Well, I
fucking get
wouldn't
one.
want to cry while I'm getting it. I wouldn't want
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't want the scene to be so beautiful. I start tearing up.
Yeah, that was a funny video. I think we probably retweeted it on the fucking Twitter.
Yeah,
Maybe I
no,
did on the other one, but that was hilarious to see that
that's
shit.
pretty
And then
great.
yeah, the next day they just got security everywhere. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Shout
they would
out to
need to.
that dude.
I mean, it's a good place to go. The Oakland A's stadium it was there, right?
Yeah,
There's no one
yeah, no
there.
one's there.
Yeah, you got a 40,000 person coliseum and 25,000 people are going every single time. So yeah, there's nothing. There's probably dogs and cats everywhere just running throughout. So yeah, it makes complete sense that yeah, an entire section would be completely abandoned, ready for this. So yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
the dirty Oakland A's. Didn't really have anything else. I mean, there's kind of with that loss just now. There's a double header on tonight for your Cubbies, but the Cardinals they're up 4.5 games in the NL Central. It's basically the only NL division that's worth talking about. I suppose it's same thing in the NL East. It's just Mets and Mets and Braves kind of dog fighting it out. Braves probably gonna get the wild card spot there. Brewers probably gonna get the other one there. Whoever's not gonna win the NL Central, it'll probably end up being the Padres because the Dodgers have their NL West locked up too. But I
Yeah.
mean, not really much there to talk about, I suppose. I mean, do the Brewers have any other chance? I mean, we talk about the AL
They're
Central
just
dogfight.
they got the pitching, but they're so inconsistent offensively that
Yeah.
it's tough for them to string together. String together any win streak. Christian Yelich is just a shell of himself now. I mean, last time I think I don't. I watch some Cubs games. I mostly listen to them. Like I'll put a headphone in, I'll listen to them on the fucking app or whatever on the radio. But last time I did watch a Cubs Brewers game a couple weeks ago, Yelich was batting like seventh, which is crazy
Oh,
to think because
yeah.
just like two,
Former
3 years exactly
MVP.
2, 3 years ago, he was like the one dude in the majors you didn't want to pitch to, and now he's batting seventh. So
Yeah.
fall from
No.
grace for fucking Pete Davidson's doppelganger.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't keep up much of either, but when I'm like going through my MLB the show cards and shit, I see that he's like 76 overall. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
terrible.
exactly what you said, fall from grace, but it's sort of the same. I mean, they do like you said, they have the pitching, not as consistent not with the bats, but the Cardinals were able to solidify very well on their end with the trade deadline. Jordan Montgomery is basically he's given up one run since being traded to the
Yeah,
Cardinals,
yeah,
which is pretty awesome. He's 4-0.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if the Yankees are exactly kicking themselves. He was showing some mediocrity on the way out, so you can't be too upset, I suppose, if you're a Yankees fan. But they were able to get him. They were able to get Jose Quintana. I'm pretty sure they were able to get a bat, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was it David Peralta or something like that, or was it somebody
It
else?
was. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I know. I know.
But they
Yeah, I forgot who
they
it
made some
was.
pretty key moves to solidify. And I mean, at the trade deadline with the All-Star break, I believe the Brewers were up like 2 games, 2.5 games, now to be up pretty not completely out of the mix, but 5 games this late. If they make a big stretch right now, it can be completely out of the way for the Brewers. So, but I mean, that's just if we wanted to like just maintain NL Central talk, just just keep it relevant. Cub
Yeah, I
guys.
mean, I got it pulled up right here. They actually traded Harrison Bader away to the Yankees
Okay.
in that trade, so they get rid of one of their star outfielders. I forgot the name of the dude they got back. Fuck, but I mean, all that put aside, you got I know that the dude with the Mets, Diaz, he's got the cool little trumpet intro. But the Cardinals have the best closer in baseball right now in Ryan Helsley. They got the front runner for the MVP in Nolan Arenado, who is
I
or no,
mean,
or
Paul
Paul
Goldschmidt's
Goldschmidt.
fucking
Yeah, Paul
killing it.
Goldschmidt. I meant, and
Oh,
not
sorry.
Nolan Arenado. Paul Goldschmidt's batting 337 for them. That's the highest in all of baseball. 31 home runs, 100 RBIs, OPS of 419, and he has 146 hits, which is also number one in the league. And then you also got Arenado, Dylan Carlson, and Tommy Edman having amazing years too. And then Adam Wainwright, who's been there his entire career, Mr. Consistent. I think he's like 38 years old now, and he's a top 10 pitcher in the National League.
He's
So
unfortunately going to get tagged with the loss today, but it was a 2-0 thing. I mean, if they
yeah,
would have scored anything, they probably wouldn't have. I mean, can't, like I said, they can't be, it's just a doubleheader today. They'll probably end up splitting, but yeah, it's exactly that. The only thing I'll tip my cap to the Brewers. We were kind of like saying, like, what are they doing trading away Josh Hader? Josh Hader's, I think his ERA since being traded is like 16.2
yeah,
or something
it
like
is.
that.
It's been terrible.
Yeah, it's very bad, very stinky. So he's been blowing more games than he should for those San Diego Padres. So yeah, it's all those names that you brought up right there.
He's been
Carlson,
blowing more than the fucking chick at the Oakland game.
yeah.
Bing bong.
It should have been the 69th episode today. Damn it.
Right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be a perfect little segment there.
There you go. But I mean, yeah, it's still close races. Obviously, will talk every single week about the AL Central, but basically locked up with the Dodgers, basically locked up with the Yankees and the Astros in their division. Still picking each other apart in the AL Central. NL Central, not exactly up for grabs. Still probably the Cardinals. And yeah, Dodgers. And then you think the Mets probably gonna end up taking it, or you think the Braves can be sneaky? Because I think they still got a couple more games against them.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Mets. No, I'm gonna go with the Mets to win the division, but I'm gonna take that Braves team to get farther in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good. I
Yeah.
wish I could take that. That makes way more sense. I got no more skin in the game. I cashed out on all my futures. Like I just got my money back at a certain point. I was just like, fuck it. I'd rather have the cash back to make moves on daily stuff instead of just waiting on probably something that's just not gonna hit. I was just like, whatever. So I ate a little bit, but I got a little money back. So that's if you got nothing else on baseball, we can go ahead and switch on over from the diamond to the pigskin, the grass, the turf.
To the fucking ripped up Soldier Field turf from
Oh
both
yeah,
fucking
from
Ramstein
fucking
and a fucking Bad Bunny concert.
yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Bad Bunny, and
Yeah.
fucking Rammstein, and I think
Dude,
Lady
they
Gaga
lit
was
the
there.
field.
Elton John probably. I have no fucking clue.
They lit the field on fire Saturday night. Like there was a video going around. They're like, Soldier Field is on fire, and in 3 weeks the Bears are gonna have to play here, and Justin Fields is gonna tear his ACL.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Like we already saw there was an overhead shot during the first preseason game, and it was so patchy and blotchy, and the field looked like shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're just beating it up right now, like you said. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Bad Bunny over this weekend, and then to wrap it all up, the weekend before the season starts, let's bring in the most devastating, the most theatric, the most enthusiastic heavy metal band, not only in the States, in the fucking world, with the German fucking Rammstein band.
Yeah.
They're going to, it wouldn't be a surprise if they bring a nuclear warhead to their show and blow it up in Soldier Field, because that's what Rammstein's known for. I mean, they have flames so high they've been reported like seen 3 miles away. Like that's a true thing. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna
I've seen Rammstein before at the Allstate. They've put on a fucking phenomenal show. It was very, exactly like you said, very theatrical, just up the wahoo, just they giant penis coming out and they're fucking spraying cum everywhere, and he's coming out with
flamethrowers,
little gimp character, and fucking slap him on his ass and shit, like just over the top, just ridiculous. But I mean, I'm a fan of the music itself.
Oh, so am I. No idea what they're saying, but
it's
hard, it's heavy, and they put on a great show.
I think that was my thing. I would just look. I mean, obviously, Du Hast is like I hate or something like that. It's just looking those up when I was younger, just like, just the names of the songs for fucking translation, just to get some sort of idea. I was like, this song's about this, I guess. I don't know. Just watching the YouTube videos, they're a phenomenal band. But yeah, probably definitely, just like they tore up the show, they're gonna tore the fuck out of that field. So
yeah, and then the Bears are gonna have to go out there and try and play a football game on
good luck.
Is basically, if for those of you, Nick, you'll know what I'm talking about. A couple of you listening, it'll be the old Ford Field at East Leiden, like the football field that was in the back. That was it was dirt. it was rocks, it was weed, and it was goose shit.
Might
There
as
was
well
no
been
grass on
cement.
that field. That's what the field was. And that's what it's going to be week 1 against the 49ers. And
Honestly,
I
you
guarantee one of the
prayed that it
quarterbacks
did. Yeah,
one of the quarterbacks are tearing a fucking ACL.
a field
I'll
like
put
that.
money on it.
Yeah, the field that we used to play, that Ford Field, you prayed that it rained the night before or the day of for some sort of fucking
Yeah, just to
practice, or if you
sort of
played a game
soften
that
it up.
day. Yeah, just
Yeah.
anything. Just because otherwise, like I said, you might as well. I'd rather play in the parking lot, honestly.
Yeah, it was
Would have been
bad.
that easier. But instead, we got the AFC West breakdown brought to you by PointsBet. PointsBet. Get that code SYS9. Help yourself out to 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Got to be 21 years or older. Got to be in the states of Illinois, Iowa, New Jersey, and I think you said New York. We'll see about
New
the
York.
New York.
Yeah.
And if so, go ahead and do that. Like I said, the risk-free bets.
Hey, and if
It
we got
helps
any
us
fans
out,
that are
helps you
listening in
out.
New York, shout out to them too.
There
Sorry
you
about
go.
your fucking tragedy back in 01, but love our New York listeners.
Never forget.
Oh,
yeah.
fucking one of them.
And of course, 1-800-GAMBLER. Any issues? So PointsBet we're gonna be breaking down the AFC West here. We got the Chiefs, we got the Chargers, we got the Raiders and the Broncos. What did he say? All the fucking, what does it say? Let's ride. Let's
Broncos
ride.
country.
Broncos Nation.
Let's ride.
There
Bronco Nation, whatever the fuck. He's so cringe.
That
is cringe. I love that we got these new mics to fuck around with.
We're gonna do ASMR with the Degenerates podcast.
Oh fuck!
Next
time I got a fart, I'm gonna rip one.
Oh my god!
Right into this, so you guys can hear what I had for lunch. AFC West. Speaking of shit, let's talk about the Raiders.
There you go.
No, who do you want? I don't even know who you want to start off with. I feel like most of them we've been going worst to first. This one I don't know where to start.
I mean, you can't say you have to say, I guess best would be based off of who won it last year. I guess we would have to go Chiefs, then Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, or no, Chiefs. Excuse me, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders.
Let's set up a wheel just to determine who we talk about.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
How crazy would that be?
Yeah, I guess
you set up the wheel. I'll fucking talk a little bit.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, I got.
Yeah,
like I said,
this is easily gonna be the most fun division to watch. I know we're gonna get a lot of primetime games between these 4 teams.
Not only that, they play the NFC West. So that's going to be just a bunch of crazy matchups right there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
wait for the long, sweaty fucking nights at the compound, the Wi-Fi cutting out, all the fucking jalapeno fucking poppers Uncle Joe's gonna make. He's gonna be, I won the fantasy league last year. Shut the fuck up, Uncle Joe. No one wants to hear it. You got lucky. You got lucky, punk.
There we go.
Yeah, we got 4. You know what? I'm gonna say it. We got 4 great quarterbacks in this division. I'll throw Derek Carr in there.
Yeah, we can.
All the teams got weapons. They all got great defenses. Oh, the Chiefs, they all got good defenses. I have no idea who's going to win this division, but we'll talk about it a little bit.
So here we go. Like I said, we got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. Our usual breakdown, or at least what I've been setting up with. Biggest question, biggest ad drops, MVP odds, division winner, team totals, who's going to make him miss the playoffs odds, and just any other extra props that we got. And just, an added bonus after we'll do our little whirligig to fucking determine the next division. We'll determine right now who we're going to talk about. So let's see. I'll spin her up. Who's going to be going no glare, all glare. It's probably not going to focus right now. Let's see. The Chargers.
The Chargers.
All righty. Probably one of the more exciting, I would say, the loudest quote unquote sleeper to get in the Super Bowl. So my question simply, will they live up to the hype? MVP odds on Herbert. Just, can he live up to that? Maybe caliber, something like that. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what their biggest ad drops. Khalil Mack re-signing Derwin James, probably another defensive name that I forgot to add, but mostly maintaining their core of guys on offense. But like I said, we'll go over the team total right there in a little bit. Anything really opening up to start off on the Chargers? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think this might be, when it's all said and done at the end of the year, the best defense in the league. You added Khalil Mack to that team with an already Joey Bosa, a very underrated Jerry Tillery, who's very good in the run game. JC Jackson, Nasir Adderley, Asante Samuel Jr. at your cornerbacks. They got Michael Davis, Bryce Callahan, who's a former Bear. He had a little bit of success here. Had a little bit of success with Vic Fangio in the Broncos, so he's staying right in division. And then you also got Kenneth Murray at middle linebacker, who is a very solid middle linebacker. You re-signed Derwin, who, he's had some health issues, but he finally stayed healthy all of last year, and he proved he's the best strong safety in football. So I think everything is, it sucks because like this is the year for the Chargers where they want to put they want to put the pedal to the metal, they want to go for it all, but unfortunately the rest of the division is also stacked, so it's going to be very fucking hard for them. So I think from top to bottom they honestly have like a top 3 roster in football. Rashawn Slater, who's emerging as one of the best left tackles in football. He's right up there with Trent Williams. This guy's only a third year left tackle for them. He's been absolutely killing it. You still got Herbert, who I'm excited for Herbert, because out of all the quarterbacks in this division, and it's crazy to say this, I think he could be the best. I think, and that's with Patrick Mahomes in this division. I think
He has the best people to throw to.
exactly.
Maybe obviously besides Devontae Adams, maybe, but in terms of all people, like you have your halfback, you have Eckler you can throw to. You got Mike Williams, who's probably going to be one of the more consistent guys this year, and then Keenan Allen, and then you'll probably find someone in the tight end position to throw to. But those 3 names right there, I mean,
they got the what's his name? They added Gerald Everett from the Rams.
There,
He's always
there
been
you
solid.
go.
He has always been a solid tight end for
he's
them
gonna
too.
he's gonna block. He's gonna eat up bodies. But then when you go out, he's gonna catch 5, 6, 7 passes. If you throw him that many, he's probably gonna end up catching them. So I mean, he's a very consistent name right there. It's a very good assessment right there.
Yeah. So I think top to bottom, they got the best team easily roster wise in the AFC West. I think even in the entire league, I think they got a top 3 lineup. Keenan Allen, he's Mr. Consistent, probably the best route runner in football, got great hands. Mike Williams, who's been very inconsistent over his career, finally put together a full season last year. I think he was a top 20 wide receiver in fantasy.
I think it was a top 15.
Was he top 15?
Could
So
be
even fucking better.
Depending on your scoring, it could be a top 15.
Yeah, you got 2 guys like that with Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert throwing him the ball, and hell, even if Justin Herbert goes down, they got the GOAT backup, Chase Daniel, baby.
Oh,
former
man.
Bear great, won it for us back on Thanksgiving a couple of years ago against the Lions. I think they have everything it takes to be a championship contender. It's just they might not even win that division. Is the crazy thing.
That's the
crazy.
Thing. They just show. I mean, I don't think they have the same head coach anymore, but he seems to always fucking it up at the last second, fourth quarter, just not getting the job done. With it was maybe 24-24 going into it, he would just somehow find a way to fuck up the game and always losing close games. I think they were like out of like 40 something close games, they were like, it was some ridiculous stat. They were like losing on like a 70% clip when it was like coming down to the last couple possessions in the fourth quarter with that coach. So I don't, like I said, I don't remember that stat off the top of my head. It was something ridiculous like that. But this is a year definitely where they can turn around. It is super unfortunate that also everyone was like, oh, we're also going to just throw balls to the wall and get superstar here, trade for superstar there, sign new guy here. It's when you're the new guy in the block, Justin Herbert, you're like, oh, I got these like you said, all these toys. You got Mike Williams, you got Keenan Allen, you got Eckler, and then everyone's just like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna get Devontae Adams.
I'm gonna get Devontae Adams. I'm gonna go out and get Russell Wilson.
It's a rough look, but I mean, solidifying it with what you said could be one of the better defenses. You could argue that the Denver Broncos could also put up a fight up there as well. Just not only just the team itself, but just I mean the stadium gives them a little bit of that edge being the Mile High. They get to practice out there, and it actually for some people, for some athletes, that is a huge disadvantage. For some, it's a huge advantage for others. So uh, just working on your conditioning. Uh, I mean, let me take a quick look. Team total on their year: Chargers 10.5. They're the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos all the same team total on points bet at 10.5. I'm gonna lean to the over for the sake of this argument because we're talking them up so high. Kind of looking over. I can see 11 games, but I mean, I'm not gonna. The over is plus 105. If you want to take that at 10.5, so you're leaning towards 11 games. I see 11 games, but it could be so goddamn close. They can
Yeah.
probably end up splitting the. I'm accounting for basically a split in the division almost. I'll maybe taking the Raiders twice, but I don't know. This is so hard to tell, especially like we said, they're playing the NFC West. None of those teams in that division are going to be pushovers either. Even like you said, I don't know how early they get the Cardinals, but if they don't, maybe don't get the Cardinals with DeAndre Hopkins or something like that.
Yeah, they don't get the Cardinals until week 12, so he
Oh, so
should be
they'll
back
have
by then.
so yeah, he'll be back by then. So they're gonna get a fully operational Cardinals team. The Rams are gonna be firing on all cylinders, pending if they have like some sort of Super Bowl hangover. But it's gonna be rough. I mean, just in general, you're getting 6 games against your own division and another 4 games in another tough ass division right there. So it's I mean, yeah, you can guarantee a couple, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head. I have to look at the schedule again, but I'm looking at 11, not feeling confident, but based on the talent, I'm saying, yeah, that could be 11 games for sure.
Yeah, I'd take the 11 too. I think they beat the Chiefs. I think they definitely beat them once.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
I think they definitely beat the Raiders
I
once.
think that's basically what I
Um,
did, except for the Raiders. I think I only gave the Raiders 2 wins in their division, one against the Broncos and one against the Chiefs. I feel like they're not going to beat the Chargers this year. That's just my thing. But I think basically throughout this, when I was determining team totals, who's winning, how much they're winning, I think I gave them 3-3, and just started from there. Just looked at their division games
yeah.
and just went from there.
Ooh,
So
we get a fucking week 17 Chargers Rams January 1st Sunday
ooh,
night football. Fucking start off the
that's
new year.
that's
That's
awesome.
gonna be a fucking game to get together and watch. But
Mm.
I'll take that as well. I'm gonna take the over on 10.5 wins. They got Houston, Cleveland, Seattle, Atlanta, Miami, Tennessee, some very easy wins in there, very winnable games. And then I think they
I
can win it.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. I keep seeing Tennessee, and I don't know what to do. I feel like they're always toss ups, but I like Tennessee. Maybe just my personal bias with Derrick Henry, but I like Vogel as the coach and everything. I feel like he finds ways to beat the good teams, but loses against the bad teams. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun when we go over their little fucking breakdown. But I mean, yeah, I was just trying to determine the same thing. I kind of had a lot of toss up games and shit like that, but I'm feeling good with 11. I
I
wouldn't
like
be
that too.
completely disappointed if they got like 10 or 9 or something like that. It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's between them and the NFC West. It's also just the toughest division in this
Yeah,
entire
that
league this
AFC playoff picture is gonna be tighter than a fucking nun this year. Uh
year.
yeah, I take the 11 too, and then what odds you got over there for them to win the division? Because I think
Let's see.
they're gonna be my pick to win the division.
They're gonna be your pick. I
Yep.
have them second to win the division at plus 200.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Chiefs at so division winner odds plus Chiefs leading the way plus 175. Chargers right behind at plus 200. The Broncos at plus 300 and the Raiders at plus 600. So maybe Vegas not, not they are also just establishing that this is going to be a tight division. And even
Yeah.
while the underdog being the Raiders are, they're out there, but giving them only plus 600, that's you'd maybe want a little bit more from that if you're getting the team total at 8.5 right now. So I don't know. I wouldn't risk it maybe with the Raiders. I mean, since you already got yours, I'll say it. The Broncos are my team to win the division just because we're talking about it. But we'll get to that exactly why. I think that just a little bit later. To make or miss the playoffs for the Chargers, we got yes -170 plus 140 for no. So if you maybe wanted to hammer that individually or throw that in a parlay, maybe that's something to do. The only I have, let's see, I got one prop on the Chargers. Couldn't find it anywhere. So just a full disclosure, this you have to find this on the DraftKings Sportsbook. You go to, like I said, you go to the props or whatever. Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams to combine for over 229 and a half receptions. That's at plus 100. I think that'll be pretty good right there. I mean, I don't know how many he had off the top of my head, but Eckler can get 70. Keenan Allen can get well over 100, and so could Mike Williams. So for a team that's probably going to be passing a fuck ton, they have a very solid line. This could be pretty good. It's gonna be a nice little payday. Double your money up at plus 100. So there you go. That was my.
Let's see. I got two prop bets that I like on this team. Both of them are in the same category, and I'm gonna stick on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm gonna sprinkle some money on both Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack to lead the league in sacks.
Ooh, okay.
Both plus 2,000. So, I mean, offenses are gonna have such a tough time trying to scheme and scheme around those dudes to try.
That's
and
if
keep
Khalil
them in
Mack
check.
is out there.
Yeah, but I feel one of those dudes has to thrive off of like the other one getting double and triple teamed. So I'm gonna bet on both of those dudes to lead the league in sacks this year, plus 2,000.
There you go. That's nice. That's fun. You found that one. That was pretty good. And then what was the Bears one, the defensive player of the year? Just a fun one.
Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah,
plus
just a nice
4,000.
something.
Yeah.
That's a nice little fun, juicy one to have throughout the entire year. Let's see. If you're good on the Chargers, we can move on to our next team. We can determine that really quick. All righty. Well, we spin. Like I said, that code is SYS9. Go on PointsBet. Follow all the rules. Like I said, I don't feel like I have enough time to determine it. As we decide, it's going to be the Chiefs. I only put Chief. It is not it's not one individual chief. It is a bunch of them. So
I fucking hate when people call me Chief.
Oh,
when I'm at Portillo's and I ask for fucking a refill and they're like, "Here you go, Chief." I'm like, I look like a fucking Indian.
I always say boss. I was like, "Hey, boss."
Boss is a good one. I like that. Chief is that's offensive, man.
I'll tell the custodian boss. I'll call him boss, and they're like,
"Dude, yeah. I totally forgot. We were fucking mentioned it earlier. We were at that Stranger Things pop-up store, and they told us we needed reservations. And I looked at my girlfriend. And I was like, "What do I look like, a fucking Indian?" And I don't think she understood the joke, and neither did the dude at the door. But that was just fucking ad. Yeah.
No, when they said that, you should be like, "Yeah, sorry, you don't have a reservation." You'd be like, "You are like Papa," and then just started.
I should have just looked at him and been like, "Hold on, here we go."
Mouth breather.
There you go.
Is your fucking reservation right now?
Oh shit. There you go.
Let's talk about the Chiefs.
Yeah, talk about the Chiefs here.
I don't got them making the fucking playoffs.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. You know what? Yep. I was kind of in the same boat. I feel like
off the bat, we always like additions, subtractions, odds. No, I don't think the fucking Chiefs are making the playoffs.
I have them. I have the under in their win total. I don't know. My question, I guess, was did Hill make Mahomes? Does Mahomes make Hill? But I mean, I don't know. This team is literally one or two injuries away from being the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion. They're not that great in some aspects. There's only so much a 35-year-old Travis Kelce can carry when it comes to receptions. I know they get Juju Smith-Schuster probably involved, but McCole Hardman just went down in training camp. They used Byron Pringle to not only to whatever his fucking things are in the jail facility or whatever. He's not going to jail, but losing to the Bears. I don't know. It's going to be a question of, does Clyde Edwards-Helaire get better? Do they rely on him? Do they go? Can they even run the ball at all? I don't know. I don't know. We see Patrick Mahomes. I guess they're gonna just have to rely on the fact that he is arguably the best quarterback, maybe maybe ever, maybe just playing right now. But for right now, some are saying he's the best. Can he single-handedly just lead them to wins with what's around him? It's possible, but for the sake of right now, for the sake of just the talent that's around them, the Broncos, the Chargers, and even the Raiders, who I think are going to sneak a game against them, I think they're going to hit the under on their wins. And I don't know if they don't make the playoffs on my end of that argument, but I don't know if looking at their schedule, not anything is a guaranteed win anymore for me. I don't know. That's just my end of it too.
Yeah, I think the last couple of years they've just been relying on, obviously, like you said, Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. A lot of their offense goes through Kelsey and Hill, and defenses can't shut down both of them. You always see it. One of them always have a big games. There's obviously a couple games in there where they both just do average, but it always seems like, all right, this week Kelsey got 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. This next week, fucking Hill has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's hard for defenses to take away 2 guys like that, especially nowadays with the speed and Tyreek Hill and just the versatility and the range that Kelsey gives you. It is very hard to take away 2 elite weapons like that. I mean, Kelsey, best tight end in football. And Tyreek Hill, he's probably the hardest dude to cover in football. I'm not going to say he's the best receiver, but he is one of the toughest dudes to cover in football. So I think taking Tyreek Hill out of that offense it's going to be a big blow. And I still expect this team to win some games. I expect them to put up big numbers offensively. I think fantasy wise, Mahomes, Kelsey, even Juju, they're must drafts this year and they're must starts. But I just think as a whole, the book might just be out. It's going to be, okay, we're going to double team. We're going to take Travis Kelsey away from you, and we're going to make the walking Band-Aid Clyde Edwards-Helaire and fucking TikTok boy Juju beat us. And I don't think they can do that. So you even saw it in the Super Bowl. I mean, when you play some of these top defenses like they did in the Super Bowl against the Bucks, they shut down Patrick Mahomes. That dude couldn't run anywhere. And, he always, back then he had the luxury of, okay, I'm just going to throw it to Tyreek Hill. Okay, I'm just going to throw it to Travis Kelsey. Tyreek Hill's not there anymore. He doesn't have that anymore. So I think losing him is bigger than a lot of people think. And that's why I honestly, and then obviously this is without even being said, just the division they play in, it's also going to be tough too. So,
the positives I'm giving them is they
might
still.
not.
Oh, sorry.
They could not make the playoffs. Like, that's crazy to say. A Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid led team might not make the playoffs this year.
No, that was going to be my point. Is just the only positive they have is they still got Andy Reid, who's a very credible coach who's been there, probably going to be adaptable. He's going to beat the teams that they should probably, but when it comes down to the neck and neck games, it's going to be a toss up. It's probably going to be, probably going to be live betting a lot of things right there. But, I mean, like I said, the positives going in, if you have that mindset of, oh, the Chiefs are going to do maybe better than you think, I guess, would be relying on the fact that they still have Andy Reid. They have a pretty decent coaching core right there. They did just add Matt Nagy, so remember that. But
he's
they
gonna
do
be the fucking difference.
No. I was saying that's going to be a negative.
No,
but,
I know.
But just, I mean, then exactly what I just said earlier, you arguably might have the best quarterback in the league right now. So you can bank on a little talent right there, maybe make a few plays that he shouldn't have, but they looked okay their first drive against the Bears, but that's not really saying much. It was against the Bears for a little first team, or at least in the preseason game that I watched against.
Yeah, you lost to the Bears, you suck. Because we suck. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
We suck.
Oh, no,
you lost
exactly.
to us, so you suck more. It was cool to see Andy Reid, Matt Nagy lose again, but he lost at Soldier Field, but as a part of the other team this time. So that was it was nice. It was nice to see.
Absolutely.
But I mean, looking at the AFC, 6 teams are making the playoffs this year. Obviously, the division winners and the 2 wild cards. You got the Bills. You got
3 now. No, they got the first round bye now, don't they?
I don't know. Did they add that?
I think they did. I think you get
Jamie,
7.
look that up for us real
No,
quick.
I think first seed gets a bye, then the second plays the 7th, third plays the 6th, and then the 4 or 5 play.
Okay, so if it is 7, I could still see them making playoffs. I was going off of 6. But the Bills are going to be there. I got the Ravens and the Bengals in the playoffs. You got the Colts, and then that only leaves 3 more teams, and there's 4 teams in that AFC West, and I think the Chargers make it. I think the Broncos make it, and it comes down to the Chiefs and the Raiders. Even teams like Tennessee can make it. I even think, depending on how good they do, Miami and Cleveland can make the playoffs too. So it's just they're not that dominant team anymore.
Well, Cleveland, depending if they actually get a quarterback or not, but if they don't do nothing over there, we'll get to that.
They're gonna have to weather the storm the first couple weeks, the first 11 weeks, and hopefully be in a spot to win a fucking wild card or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of feeling no, it's not looking too bright for the Chiefs. If you got them not to make the playoffs, you got a nice little plus sign to chase at plus 175. Yes is minus 210. So obviously you see where their heads at Las Vegas wise. Already went over what we said. Their 10.5 is their team total, hitting the under on that at plus 110. I could see where they win 12 games, but I could also see where they bottom out and they can win only 8 or 9 games, especially like you said, if God forbid if Mahomes or Travis Kelce goes down, that's a huge fucking
that's
detriment.
Their offense.
That's
their whole
their team.
Offense.
That's everything right there. So
Chad Henney's not leading this team to a fucking win, let alone the playoffs.
Absolutely not. He'll have fun handing the ball off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who will prominently probably fucking twist his ankle on the very next play or something like that. So I don't know. It's not looking too great, but I mean, it could also just be, like I said, all signs still in the positive where Mahomes just says, fuck it, turns coal into diamonds and does what he does. So yeah, I honestly, looking at props, I didn't like anything on the Chiefs. I don't have a prop for the Chiefs.
No,
I got nothing.
I got one. I'm gonna ride. Like I said, I don't expect them to be, they're not going to be the Chiefs that we've seen the last 3 years. I still do think that they're going to put up numbers offensively. I think they're going to have, especially, Kelce, like I said, the big names, Kelce, Mahomes, even Juju. I think they're going to have good years. And I'm going to take the over on Travis Kelce's touchdowns. They have it at 7.5 right now on FanDuel at minus 120. Last year he had 9 touchdowns. So I'm going to take over 7.5 for Kelce.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I like that. Yeah,
I feel like he scores 9 touchdowns on a team with Tyreek Hill. Probably get a couple more targets.
That was kind of an off year for him.
Yeah,
more or
exactly.
less.
He'll get a couple more targets this year without him there. I think he can easily hit 9, maybe even double digits. So over 7.5 touchdowns for Kelce. I like that one.
Yeah, and me not finding a prop, that's not me being just negative on the team. I just didn't like the value of what was offered to me, or just straight up what it was. So again, that's me being a responsible gambler, not just throwing out something for what, like I said. And sometimes I fuck up. I wish I paid attention to more like over under on stats, but I don't know. Sometimes that just falls by the wayside for me. Let's see. We got 2 more teams to go. Let me pull up the little app right here. Got rid of that. And we'll go ahead and spin. God damn it. I'm fucking stupid. There we go. Spin really quick. Final 50-50 little spin guy. Who we got? Raiders or Broncos? Is it going to tell me? What's it going to tell me? How you doing? Bang. We got the Raiders. So yeah, right here. We kind of already talked about it. Plus 600 to win the division. Last on that one. My question was, How will the Raiders shock the world this year? Another felony, murder, possibly, racist coach, or will their play be what surprises us this year? I don't know. It could be either one, honestly. I don't know if there's gonna be some sort of maybe I don't know mass genocide that happens in the Las Vegas area due to the Raiders fucking organization or something crazy like that, or if there's just maybe Devontae to Derek Carr this year is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So either way, that was my little question right there. Obviously, the big ad, there's not really much to talk about other than just Devontae Adams. That boom, bang, that's it right there. Uh, they're over under on their wins, 8.5. And I got the over right there. I can see 9. I can see 9 pretty easy. And again, that was me just giving only 2 wins in their division, one of the Chiefs and one against the Broncos at home or something like that. So looking through it, it's good. I know you talk pretty highly of the Raiders. You like them, not only for your one friend or whatever, but just because you see the talent in themselves. I feel like Josh Jacobs is going to have, while right now kind of under the radar, probably going to have a pretty decent year, both fantasy wise, just overall stats wise. Derek Carr, everyone seems to forget he threw over 5,000 yards last year. You're adding Devontae Adams to that. Hunter Renfrow might take a little bit of a step back in terms of maybe his fantasy production or whatever, but still going to be a reliable target right there, as well as if you get a healthy Darren Waller out there, going to be a pretty well maintained offense. Going to be throwing on you a lot. Going to be able to run the ball on you as well with, like I said, with Josh Jacobs right there. So how are you feeling on the Raiders?
I'm high on the Raiders. I love this roster top to bottom. You look at the defensive side of the ball and just some of these names. You got Max Crosby. You add Bilal Nichols from the Bears, who we've seen him. He's had his moments where he can wreck some games, man. He can get in there in the run of the pass game. I was upset the Bears didn't keep this guy around. You add Chandler Jones to the defensive line now, so you got Crosby and Chandler Jones coming off the edge. You got Denzel Perryman. You add Jayon Brown, who's a very solid interior linebacker from. You add him from Tennessee. I think this is what the Raiders' problem has always been. They've always had decent offenses, but they can't stop people from scoring. And I think adding a guy like Chandler Jones to that defense with a Max Crosby, who's shown he's one of the best edge rushers in football when he's not popping pills with Waller. All jokes aside, they're both dogs. So I think their defense definitely took a step up this year, and even adding Jayon Brown, who's another solid solid linebacker for them. But their big question mark is going to be that offensive line. Like, yeah, they've never been able to protect. They've never been able to protect Derek Carr. They haven't really established like a run game the last couple of years, and I'm in the same boat you're at. I think Josh Jacobs is going to have a great year, especially with them cutting Kenyon Drake yesterday. He's the clear
really?
cut.
I didn't know they did that.
He's the clear cut number one go-to fucking 3-down back for them. Like he is great in the run and the pass game. So
Didn't Kenyon Drake get hurt, if I'm not mistaken? Didn't he tear his ACL possibly towards the end of the season?
I think he did. He did get hurt towards the end of the year, and they just cut him.
Okay.
I think yesterday they cut him. But
all right.
They got
I feel
all
like
the weapons.
someone will snag him later on in the year, maybe when he gets healthy.
They got all the weapons in the world. They got to protect Derek Carr. If they can give him any time for these fucking big four weapons to get open, this offense is going to be clicking. I mean, you don't throw 500 or 5,000 yards last year accidentally. So you add Devontae Adams to it. This is sort of goes back to like what I was talking about earlier in the fantasy segment. I would rather have like a Hunter Renfrow on my team over like, I don't know, a Darnell Mooney, who's a number one on the Bears, or like a number one, maybe like an Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's like on the edge. But I still think Hunter Renfrow is going to have a fucking great year. He's just Derek Carr's guy. Like, he's just shown whenever Derek Carr needs a catch or he's he's got pressure. He needs to just throw the ball somewhere. It's always to Hunter Renfrow. He's just that little like safety blanket for Carr. So I'm still high on him too. They just got to protect him. They got to protect Carr. Basic.
That seems to be the case.
They
And I
go out
don't.
and they draft Alex Leatherwood 2 years ago, who was one of the best tackles coming out of Alabama. And this dude's been nothing but. I'm looking around to see if I have something yellow I can throw, but there's been nothing but holdings and false starts on this dude ever since he came in the league. He's nasty when he's not holding motherfuckers. But yeah, it's gonna come down to protection. See if they can
I
keep
like
Derek
that.
Carr standing up straight.
I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like it was maybe him who had the little animation on like Sunday Night Football or
He
Monday
did.
Night thing where they always show how fast he
know.
gets the ball off. It's like 2.9 seconds or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I
if
know
he
exactly what you're talking about.
if he can do that, but still have the idea of like, oh, I can do this, but I also have 2 more seconds if I really truly need to. And when you're getting down to the nitty gritty of it, that's 2 seconds is astronomical. So I mean, it's exactly what you're gonna need right there. So if you just get, as long as he's not maintaining all the holding right there, can get it better on that. Getting Derek Carr all the time in the world to get an open Devontae Adams, who they always say a wide receiver going on to a different team, the production goes down a little bit. I think this will be an outlier considering Devontae Adams might be the best receiver in the game right now. Maybe not going to get the exact same thing, but if he's talking this up right now where he's saying him and Derek Carr are basically on the same page, where he's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr were basically the same person, maybe we're going to see vintage Devontae Adams more or less. So I don't know. You can be a little hazy or maybe just when you're deciding who you're going to take in your fantasy draft, like, oh, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and fucking Devontae. You can toss up right there who you think is the best one right there. But if you're going to be worried about fall off production, I don't think Adams is anything to worry about right there. No. I feel like he's going to step right in, fill out nicely. It's going to be, and probably going to be the key. Like, I mean, didn't it come down to the Raiders not catching a touchdown pass? Basically, you throw Devontae Adams in that situation, I think he catches that pass. I think he catches a touchdown right then and there. So you got a reliable guy like that. Yeah, I mean, it's all positive right there. And if you're banking on 8.5 right there, in terms of wins, you might be playing with a lot of house money right there as well. So this could be one where they just go crazy and just outshine and underestimated the entire time or something like that. They're overlooked and maybe they do way better than they should. I don't know, but that's not who I have winning the division. Like I said, but I don't know if you had anything else on them. Oh, our props and everything. I have one, it looks like. I have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Waller to combine for over 2,999.5 regular season receiving yards at plus 1,000 or plus 150, excuse me. Seems, I don't want to say seems easy enough, but if you're thinking about it, if he's going to throw another 5,000, you would probably think a majority of it is going to go to these three guys. So yeah, bang, bada, boom. 3,000 yards out of these three guys. Definitely doable. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I think that's my only thing on them. If you got them to make the playoffs, plus 175, no is minus 225. I
would take them to make the playoffs.
There you go. You got that. That's pretty.
If it is 7 games like you mentioned, or 7 teams like you mentioned earlier, I think they can definitely make the playoffs. Not win the division, but make the playoffs.
Yeah, win the division. Like I said, their lowest odds on that is but they're plus 600, so maybe a little wiggle room for that if you like that. But yeah, that was basically it for me on the Raiders. If you had anything more,
I had two. I'm gonna take Darren Waller's over on receiving yards at 825.5. If he's healthy, which he wasn't last year, if he can play 15, 16, 17 games, I think he can reach a fucking 1,000 yards. I think he's that good of a receiver. So
I mean, that's kind of where my head's at right now with that 3,000 yard thing. So
I'm gonna take that over on his receiving yards, and then just a little fun one. just because I think this guy doesn't get the recognition he deserves sometimes. Chandler Jones, I took a flyer on him to win Defensive Player of the Year at plus 6,000.
Oh my goodness.
I
Okay.
think he's got the potential to rack up 20 sacks. Like he's legit.
Has
He's
he done
great
it? Isn't he done it before?
Yeah, he has.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's done it before. I think he can do it again. He's known for those strip sacks, and those are huge. Turnovers are huge nowadays. I mean, look at fucking Mr. Diggs on the Cowboys, got like the 23rd on the top 100 list.
Oh
because
yeah.
all he had was
How
interceptions.
ridiculous.
Like that's what people look at nowadays. And if he can go out there, rack up 18 to 20 sacks with, a couple strip sacks turned in there, recovered by the Raiders, plus 6,000. I honestly think he definitely has the ability to win Defensive Player of the Year. So that's a flyer. That's just a fun little one I took on what's his name? Chandler Jones. Defensive Player of the Year, plus 6,000.
I like that. It's pretty decent right there. Alrighty. I was gonna try and spin the wheel just on the one option, but it wouldn't let me do that for that on the app. So we're going right to, like I said, right to what I thought was gonna be the division winner. And it's gonna be my pick for here at plus 300. The Denver Broncos, newly acquired Robot Russ. Gonna be, hey, like I said, Broncos Nation. Right, let's ride. Robot Russ here. Yeah, obviously, Russell Wilson getting the addition. Javonte Williams on the uptrend. Melvin Gordon maybe on the downtrend. They lost Noah Fant. You can maybe see that as if it hurts, maybe it helps. Who knows? Yeah, I guess that was my question simply for Broncos Nation. Are you ready to ride with Russ? Do you believe in him? I mean, the key pieces are right there. Jerry Jeudy's a pretty solid wide receiver. So is Cortland Sutton. Two guys are going to be, again, maybe under the radar in terms of that, but maybe in terms of consistency, could be right there. For a team last year that was beyond mediocre, being led by Drew Lock, they fell. I mean, were they not a game above 500 last year, if I'm not mistaken? They were right there, and they kept teams in low scoring affairs. Vic Fangio being the head coach. I mean, if you maybe believe in him or not, but a defensive minded head coach in a pretty well maintained defense, now actually getting this offensive piece, which is arguably the most important in all of sports. We see it and we talk about it every single week almost, and we always recognize that you took a team like the Bengals, you finally give them a quarterback, and they're all up in the Super Bowl. You finally give a solid core defense like the Denver Broncos. Yeah, sure, they lost Von Miller, but he's up there in age. He wasn't doing anything crazy anyways. But that was a couple seasons ago now. You lose him, you finally get your quarterback who can lead these guys and actually, like I said, some sort of a range of talent with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. The expectations are high for a good reason. So I mean that they can go ahead and get it done. I don't know about winning a Super Bowl. It's tough, but I can see them being able to win this division. I like them at plus 300.
Yeah, I'm high on the Broncos too. Just looking at the defensive side of the ball, Bradley Chubb and Patrick Surtain, two of the better young players that have come out. Two of the better players that don't get the recognition they deserve. I know Chubb, he missed a lot of was it last year or the year before that with injury, but when he plays, he's dangerous off the edge. And then Patrick Surtain at that cornerback spot for him. He showed a lot of people last year I think going into the draft, I know there were a couple of corners that went before him, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna make him pay or whatever he said. He's like, I'll use that as motivation. He did last year. So love those two guys. The addition of Randy Gregory, who he's been on the Cowboys the last couple of years as an edge rusher, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call it. That's a nice little addition to them. But yeah, offensive side of the ball, you add Russell Wilson. Even with, down year last year with an injury, he still had a great season on a terrible Seahawks team. You add Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. Hopefully Jerry Jeudy can fucking catch and hold on to the ball this year. But yeah,
to be fair, he did have Drew Lock throwing to him for the
Yeah.
majority of the season. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna going to rely on if these guys can step up. At least Jerry Jeudy, we've seen. If Cortland Sutton can stay healthy, that would also be a big help. I feel like he's the one that was tore his ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe on his fault or whatever. But I mean, they have all the talent right there. It's a lot. It's a lot that can be done right there. I mean, for the same sake of the argument, I mean, if they're going to win the division, they're going to hit their over on their wins. I would think so. Plus 135, over 10.5 wins. To make the playoffs, minus 145. So you may be paying a little bit on that. Maybe you have to throw it in a parlay, excuse me. If you're not as high on it as we are, no is plus 120. So there you go. Like you said, someone in this division is most likely not going to make the playoffs. So maybe hop on one of them that doesn't have a plus sign or that doesn't have a minus sign next to it. I don't know. The only thing that I didn't really add, I guess the prop. I have two right here? Yes, I do. I have Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams to combine for 14.5 rushing touchdowns. That's at plus 120. And here is something that could hit in week 1. Russell Wilson to score a rushing touchdown against any NFC West team during the regular season, plus 130. They play the Seattle Seahawks week 1.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I mean, it could happen very early on. Like I said, week 1 they play Seattle, week 3 they play the Niners. Later on they play the Cardinals, and of course, the other team that I can't think of off the top of my head. So yeah, that is.
Yeah, I got one prop on him this year, and yeah, it's a wide receiver I've always liked, Cortland Sutton. I mean, I think 2 years ago before he blew out his knee, he had one of the best seasons we've seen out of a wide receiver, fantasy wise. I think he had like 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns with like you said, Drew Lock throwing him the fucking ball, and before that was who the fuck was it before Drew Lock?
Oh Jesus!
Oh, I can't fucking remember who the quarterback was. It's gonna bother me.
That John Elway's boy, right?
Yeah,
The guy that Brock
who the
Osweiler.
fuck- maybe Brock Osweiler. Yeah, so I think Russell Wilson is just gonna elevate his play. And that's
Teddy
why I'm gonna
Bridgewater
take.
was throwing him. I think that
Yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater
was
last
there
year
too. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna take Cortland Sutton's over on touchdowns this year, which it's set at 5.5 right now at minus 120. Definitely maybe like to see that a little more even money. Maybe if I can find like an alternate at like 6.5 for plus money, I might take that somewhere. But I think Cortland Sutton, he stays healthy with Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. He'll be a top 10 receiver in this league. I think so, honestly. So I'm going to take the over on his touchdowns at 5.5.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like that. I'm trying to make sure that we don't have anything else on this division. Already mentioned, like that he said, make miss the playoffs. Division winners officially. You're going with the Chargers at plus 200. I'm going with the Broncos at plus 300. MVP odds, we see a couple names. I'm only going to talk about the quarterbacks of these teams because talk about really any other position is just nonsense. Got Mahomes as second highest favorite at plus 800. Herbert is the 4th favorite at plus 1,000. Wilson at plus 1,400 is the 7th favorite, and Derek Carr at the 13th favorite is plus 2,500. Obviously, I guess the biggest. You could maybe argue Derek Carr if he goes crazy and somehow leads the way, and the Raiders are somehow way more fantastic than they should be.
They'd have to like win the division.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. But I like Herbert if you're gonna just focus on this division. Herbert at plus 1,000 is pretty decent. Mahomes is a little chalky. I mean, it's between him and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's plus 600, plus 700 to be the odds-on favorite. So, I mean, if you're just leaning on best value, probably Derek Carr, like it right there. Russell Wilson is probably where he should be. Herbert probably where he should be, and then of course Mahomes is one of the odds-on favorites. So that is that. That is our predictions of the AFC West, and that is the breakdown of that. Unless you had anything else.
No, that's it. I was just pulling
All right.
up the Cortland Sutton stats. 2019, 1,100 yards on dude. Listen, I know you guys. I said this earlier. I'm a big volume guy, right? 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, 72 receptions on 124 targets.
Damn.
And that wasn't with Russell Wilson throwing him the fucking ball. So
Yeah. That was with inconsistent
it
Drew
was,
Lock and
you know
Teddy
who it was?
Bridgewater.
This was the name that I forgot.
Joe Flacco.
That's who his quarterback was.
Oh
I knew
my
there was a
goodness.
big name quarterback that was throwing the ball. And I mean, he puts up those numbers with Joe Flacco. I think Russell Wilson's gonna elevate that a little higher. I think
Yeah.
he can. I honestly, I'm high on him in all my drafts, and I know a lot of people are, so that's why I'm not really afraid to say it. But I think he can finish a fucking top 10 receiver this year.
There you go. Heard it here first. All righty. Like I said, that was the AFC West breakdown brought to you by Points Bet. While I bring up that, I'll bring up who we're going to decide last on what division we do. The code is SYS9. Like I said, we're down to the NFC North and the NFC South. We'll decide who we get right there. Points Bet, code SYS9. Do yourself a favor, get those 2 risk-free bets. And we will be doing wait, did we do the AFC North? Didn't we do
No, we did the NFC North.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
we did the
So
NFC
there we
North.
go. AFC
So we
North.
got the AFC North. All right, that's another exciting one.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait for that. No, didn't we? No, no, I know we for sure did the NFC North.
We did the NFC West. We did the AFC East. We did the AFC
Who's
South.
the AFC North is the Bills.
Bears. No,
Oh.
the AFC. That's the AFC East.
Oh, that's okay.
The AFC North is the Bengals, Browns.
Yes.
Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Ravens.
Never mind. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so that's what we got.
I'm as dumb as they come. So there you go. Exactly what you said. Ravens, Bengals, Broncos.
That'll be a fun one.
Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, and last team. I always fucking don't remember the last team.
Bengals, Browns, Steelers, Ravens. Jim.
Browns.
Browns.
Okay. Cool. Can't wait for that. I guess that's a good segue into talking about Deshaun Watson. And I'm glad we kind of held off on what was at the time a 5-game suspension. Now it is an 11-game suspension with $5 million in fines. Unlike Watson, like I said, we were able to maintain self-control and not talk about this until the dust settled. So pretty good on us. I guess the only thing notable really for me, I mean, I got nothing really to add other than shame on you, is just he's not going to be draftable in fantasy leagues. Wouldn't worry about that if for whatever reason he does end up playing or doing well at all. Not only are you getting the 11 games, I think you also get a bye week in there. So you're almost 12 weeks without him in terms of, like I said. So if we're going to rely on him for week 13, 14, 15, 16, I don't know. Good luck on you with that. He's not going to, like I said, he's not going to be able to lead your team anyway with that. Speech afterward, I don't know if you saw it on ESPN or whatnot. Didn't really look, guilty, dismissive. Kind of just stuck to his script or whatever. He definitely listened to his lawyers. Didn't want to say anything outside the box and sound like an asswipe any more than he probably already shown that he is. So I don't know. I don't want to say good on him because he's done what he's done. He's not admitting to guilt. He's under that narrative of, oh, just because we settled doesn't mean I did it, is basically what he's saying. He's just kind of, I guess he's just trying to pay his way out of it in terms of whatever. So whether or not he did it, he's just trying to get pay it all away so you can still see him in the light of him being an asswipe in that sense too. So I don't know if you had any personal quarrel with him.
No, I
can
just
toss it up. Yeah, I guess toss it up. Who cares?
There's a big difference between 5 and 11 games.
Oh yeah,
and
huge.
I think, no matter what we think, if he did it, if he didn't do it, we could sit here and talk about that. None of that matters. I think with all the shit that he's gone through and all the accusations that have been, lobbied against him, I mean, this has been going on for a year and a half, almost 2 years now. It was funny. I had like a memory on Facebook that I looked at yesterday, and it was like it was about this, and I was like,
Yeah.
this has really been going on this fucking long. It's been going on like I said, almost a year and a half, a little over a year and a half.
We could
now,
probably
so.
go to old recordings right now, going on a
Yeah,
year now. Probably
I
us
think
talking
that's
about
what
it.
it was. I think I shared something on Facebook on about the podcast, and it was like when this was just beginning,
Yeah.
So I think with all that being done, to go out and the first suspension was 5 games, take that. There's no need to appeal it. What, to get like
I don't
0
think that was
or
their
more?
thing. I think it was the NFL was like, we're gonna take more action. We're gonna add more to
Okay,
this, no
so
matter what.
if that's the case, then don't listen to anything I'm saying.
I
But
don't remember
if
exactly.
Deshaun Watson and them appealed this, it's like just
No.
take the 5 games. Take the 5 fucking games. Even if you're 2-3, you're 1-4 after those 5 games, it's still a salvageable season. But now 11 games for that Browns team. Feel bad for the Browns fans. All the years that they've been dealing with the quarterback situation, that it's just been laughable for the last 3-4 decades with them. Now they finally get a good one, and this shit happens. So whoever that one
Oh, you
dude
could
who,
argue that Baker was also good for them too, but it's kind of
yeah,
it's halfway shitty. I don't know if you kind of saw how the Browns fans were treating him on the way out. I mean, it kind of got to thinking the minds of, you were a laughing stock. You're 0-16. You got this guy from Ohio State, I think, or Oklahoma or whatever, and he comes
Yeah,
in and he
Oklahoma.
actually makes your team playoff contenders almost to the point where you're almost in the AFC Championship, and then you boo him on the way out, maybe just because he's in a commercial or two, or maybe just because he didn't show enough effort with 2 torn fucking shoulders. I don't know, kind of a shitty way for Cleveland fans to act. So maybe it's just maybe shame on them, or a little bit or no, what's the thing? What's the
They're just
uh
pissed they've never won shit
yeah,
in their
exactly.
fucking
That's
life.
karma. It's a little karma for
Yeah.
that shit too. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's always, that's always been their thing. The shitty quarterback, no reliable guy there, constantly at the top of the draft order, looking to find the guy. Think they have it, something like this happens. So who can I? That sucks. Sucks for Cleveland. Sucks for Deshaun Watson. And I think you were maybe onto something. I don't know if we were on the same trends of it. It's just, this has been going on for a very long time. Deshaun Watson is going to be a different person in terms of, probably just in the way of everything. I would just hope that for him, for the fact that I just do want to see good football. Maybe hopefully this doesn't affect his play, and it maybe he's able to focus in a little bit more, just considering that doesn't really have much else going on right now. So, or it could just be the complete polar opposite. This just fuck with his head so much that, in the preseason game, he threw 1 for 5 with 14 yards and like a sack or some shit and a pick or whatever. So it can affect him pretty negatively. It's all just all gonna be wait and see. Can't really sit here and say a prediction, but yeah, it's gonna be a tough look in all angles. Very, very tough look. So yeah, fucked over a lot of people. Fucked a lot of people. So yeah,
Fucked a lot of people, literally.
that's that's the
Yeah,
Deshaun
it's
Watson
funny.
news.
His comeback game week 12 is against Tampa Bay.
Ooh,
So good luck trying to
yeah.
shake off the fucking rust, as they say, against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So
Just staying on draft. I mean, I didn't have this down or whatever. Just staying on, fantasy. Where do you have Amari Cooper now with all this shit? I mean, I don't know. I mean, his talent just doesn't go by the wayside, but getting a backup quarterback in that position where, I mean, sure, he was going to be the number one guy there in terms of everything, receptions and everything, but it's going to be a tough look justifying him over, I guess, maybe something like you said, taking a number 2 guy over Amari Cooper.
yeah,
Are you taking Hunter Renfro over Amari Cooper?
yeah,
Okay. All
I
right. There
am.
you
Yeah.
go.
He's definitely still draftable. Yeah, obviously he's draftable.
Yeah,
He's
I
I
think he
think he's
is.
still startable depending on, your league. I trust Jacoby Brissett enough to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Especially with he's the
Probably
only
not to win
fucking,
games, but I guess to be
yeah, with
consistent on the
no,
stats. Yeah.
yeah, with no Jarvis Landry there now, clear cut number 1, and then your next best guy is Donovan Peoples Jones, who is an average, like, what is he?
He's like the created mock player you would get in Madden.
Yeah.
That's like your base 78 overall guy that you get.
I wouldn't bank on Cooper scoring a lot of touchdowns, but I definitely think he's going to be targeted a lot.
Yeah.
So I think the
No, I like
volume will
that.
be there. I think
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett's good enough to get the ball in his hands, or at least
If
throw it
it's
to him 10,
yeah.
12 times a game.
And then obviously we'll keep in mind, we'll keep our eyes posted for anything posted about maybe getting Jimmy Garoppolo. That's been the rumor. They want to get Jimmy Garoppolo on the Browns for this obvious not gonna have Deshaun Watson, who you guaranteed money to already. He's gonna be out for the 11 games. So we'll see about that. Well, some somewhat good news, I suppose, on the Bears end. We're going to get Roquan Smith back, at least for the remainder of his rookie deal. He's going to play out his final year. Some sort of quote I might be paraphrasing right now. He wants to prove that he's going to be worth what he's worth. I don't know. They haven't come out with exact figures of what he was offered. I doubt that comes out maybe till after this is all said and done. But I mean, he's going to have to really show out. He's going to have, like you said, he's going to have to focus on turnovers, not just leading the league in tackles like he has been. He's going to need to force fumbles. He's going to need to bat balls down and be a Luke Kuechly, just absolute fucking monster type middle linebacker this year. And in my mind, to, I guess, get the money he thinks he deserves as opposed to what Ryan Poles has already offered him. And I'm just the way that Ryan Poles has handled this situation, being so transparent, not talking, and when he is on the mic and he's just doing these interviews, he doesn't come off like an asswipe to me. So when he says he's offered record-breaking numbers and offers to Roquan, I believe him. That might just be being naive, but I believe Ryan Poles when he says this. So I'm not gonna sit here and be okay. Roquan Smith is a problem. Maybe he's just doing what he's doing. He's banking on himself, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do in this league. So do that. Do well, Roquan Smith. I want you to, even though you're probably not gonna. It's not gonna translate into wins necessarily, but you'll get paid. Hopefully, you stay with the Bears. That's what
obviously he's tackling machine. 95 last year, 98 in 2020, 89 in 2018, his rookie year. Only 66 in 2019, but only played 12 games. You're right. I think the turnovers need to be there. Only has one forced fumble in his career, which a 4-year career in middle linebacker. I expect those numbers to be a little higher. Does have 5 interceptions in 4 years. That's not that bad. But I think where his other than just being a tackling machine, his secondary talent is getting after the quarterback. 14 tackles the last 4 years. That's not too bad for a middle linebacker, especially with. You look at all these other middle linebackers, they're not the ones coming at the quarterback. You don't see Bobby Wagner. You don't see Fred Warner. You don't see whatever fucking buddy on the Colts just changed his name, Darius Leonard, Shaquille Leonard, whatever it is now. Yeah. They're not really getting after the quarterback. They're not blitzing. So I guess in that aspect, he's a little different. He gets after the quarterback. Maybe he feels like, okay, I want to be paid like a linebacker and like an edge rusher because we know the big money those dudes are demanding. I mean, you look what the Bears gave Khalil Mack a couple of years ago.
Absolutely.
Fernando Tatis, I have failed. Okay, no one gives a fuck. We know you failed. We know the test showed you failed. You fuck. But anyway,
Sucks the trade.
I think him saying he's gonna come out, bet on himself. I expect him to do what he's done the last couple of years. Around 100, I'd say with a 17 game season now, 100 sacks,
100 sacks,
100. Sorry, 100 tackles. If he got 100 sacks, holy shit! Yeah. What do you think he'd be worth? No, 100 tackles, 3, 4, 5 sacks. But yeah, I agree. If those turnover numbers get a little higher on the season, I have no problem him being 25 years old, locking him up to a 5-year deal, 110, 115, $120 million, somewhere in that range. I'd have no problem with that.
I think I was trying to do the math in my head, if I'm not mistaken. If you got 100 sacks, divide that by 17 games, 17 games now. I think it's just over like 5 sacks a game, 5.5 a game. So
That's
just
not even Madden worthy.
yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, those are video game numbers. You can't even do that in
No,
Madden.
you didn't. No, not even a chance.
You can put it on rookie sliders all the way down. You still ain't getting that.
No fucking way.
No.
Yeah. So that'd be pretty crazy. And like I said, I mean, good off to him. I mean, if he wants to have this fuck you attitude, just have it towards the field, not towards the head, not towards the main office and whatever, who's trying to be, as like I said, who's been transparent, who's been very reasonable as of now towards the media and towards the people, the fans and everything that's being broadcasted. So that's it on that. I don't know if a couple other things I had. Just I don't know. Did you see the Packers' newest jug machine?
I did not. No.
Okay, so quick little thing on there. I thought it was really interesting that I believe they're one of the only, for sure, the first team to have this newest jug machine. If you're not aware of what that is entirely, it's that machine that you put the football in and it shoots it off as fast or as slow as you want it to go, so you can set it to 80 miles an hour, 90 miles, whatever. Fucking that's what wide receivers will do. Basically, if you saw at the end of the Hard Knocks, at the end of the first episode of the second one, Amon St. Brown talks about not only all the wide receivers that was drafted in front of him, he names every single one from every single school. He then tells us why he catches 202 balls every single day at the end of practice. Once again, go ahead and check that fucking series out. Episode 2, not as crazy, I say, but still very entertaining. And I guess we also found out who we're going to be following in turn, like who's going to get that episode 4 call, like, oh, you made the team. It's going to be that Rodrigo
linebacker,
that Rodrigo guy. Yeah.
Love the mustache on.
Absolutely. What was I even saying? The jug machine. So the jug machine, like I said, they set that up, shoots a bunch of balls off. They catch it. That's what everyone uses. The new jug machine that the Packers are using, very state of the art, very computerized, very virtual. What they can do is they can program it to literally be and to throw to the tendencies of the quarterback that they're going to be facing. So he said that whoever one of their defensive backs, the guy who that's already on the Sullivan guy, maybe the whatever, they already have one at their house. He was practicing using the Kirk Cousins option the entire time. So like I said, it matches how they throw.
That's insane.
And based on just recording from games and stats and everything like that. So very, very cool, very state of the art. I don't mean to, we doth our cap to the Packers or whatever, but I just thought that was pretty interesting machine. All for nothing, probably all just to lose in the NFC Championship, I suppose. But
not even. Even Robbie Gold's gonna bounce him in the divisional again. 13-10, baby. Robbie Gold wins it.
Yeah. So I just thought that was pretty cool. And like you said, it shoots off. You can change however the speed is. You can change who the quarterback is. You can change if they're throwing on the run or something like that, the accuracy, all the different scenarios. It's all programmed into this new fucking machine. Not simply will it just be the plug the ball in and shoot it off. It's now I think it's on the phone now. They program it through an app. It's probably gonna be pretty cool the way that they're gonna be able to use this new shit.
That thing does look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be probably the renaissance, new uptick in terms of the new technology that teams are going to be recognized and working on throughout the year. So pretty cool. You wrote this down. You had this Brady and Gronk were almost Raiders. What happened there?
Dude, so apparently over the weekend you had UFC 278, the big fight. They had Dana White was sitting down with the Gronkowski brothers, and they were, just sitting, talking, shooting his shit. And all of a sudden, Gronk brings up how he would have liked it in Las Vegas. And people are like, what are you talking about? Liked it in Las Vegas. And apparently there was a trade in the works between the Patriots and the Raiders to make Tom Brady and Gronk Raiders, and that would have been the year that they won the Super Bowl. So I just thought that was interesting. All this behind the scenes stuff that nobody knows about. Apparently Dana White was like the middleman of it, which that's sort of weird. working between Kraft
That's
and Davis, but
that might just be a he said she said
yeah,
type deal.
that's what I
Then
feel
don't.
like too.
I feel like there's a lot of every year there's always like, how LaDainian Tomlinson was almost a Miami Dolphin or something like that. It's always just something kind of out there or whatever, but it's just a lot of speculation. But that's a fun one to always think about. It's always a big what if of what if this guy was here instead of there. I mean, yeah, obviously it's still pretty good franchise in the Raiders, but they haven't won nothing since the 80s.
I got a question.
All right.
If Tom Brady goes to the Raiders in 2018, 2019, whatever year it was, do you still think Henry Ruggs gets into that car accident? I don't think so.
I don't even know if
I
Henry
don't think
Ruggs
so.
even on the team.
No, but I mean, Tom Brady would have been there.
Oh, he would have still, yeah,
He would have had those
there.
guys on a tight leash. He would have been like, "Okay, I'll call you an Uber."
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think that's a whole. I think that never happened.
If that's the biggest what if from all of this is
Yeah, I'm not worried about
Tom
wins.
Brady. So you're saying
Super
Tom
Bowls.
Brady caused that lady to die? Is that
Pretty
what you're
much,
saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Him and Gronk.
Yeah, him and Gronk killed that lady. No, that makes a bunch of sense. That made you heard it again. You heard it here first. Breaking. Uh, Gronk and Tom Brady killed the lady. Last one I had is somewhat not really, in fun or whatever. It's not really that big. Ravens win another preseason game. Is it their 23rd in a row? Who cares? No, it is preseason.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just something all the trends that they always see on. I don't know what the odds are just yet, but they're playing the Commanders next week in their third and final preseason game of the year. Uh, Depending on the line, I might take it. I've been staying away from preseason football, just kind of the same mode, just focusing on baseball, focusing on the half chubs that we've been absolutely fucking killing lately. By the way, if you're not following the Degenerates Gambling, get on that. But yeah, just this might be a fun line. The Commanders, their preseason, they've only scored, I think, 15 and 20 points. So
Damn.
not really too much on the offensive end in probably in their preseason, probably going to translate to their regular season, but they're giving up a big clip too. I think they gave up 24 and like 30 in their game already. So I don't know. Feels like a pretty good one. If you're looking at other trends in terms of other teams that are on a preseason streak, the Buffalo Bills have also won 10 straight preseason games. So if you want to hop on that little train of preseason win streaks, there you go.
4 of those wins last year with Mitch Trubisky.
There you go.
Something
Still has yet to throw a
Mitch.
pick six.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna name
MVP.
my fantasy team that just hasn't thrown a pick six, and it was just gonna be Mitch Trubisky's face. But I settled with Shat My Fans. With just a picture of
my fans.
With just a picture of
What
Noah
was mine?
Fant.
I thought of one the other day, and I was I can't remember it off the top of my head. It'll come to me, and I'll let you know off air. Fuck, I had a good one.
Someone in my league is
so.
Cooper Cuck. Someone in my league is Cooper
Cuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck was mine?
I'll let you think on that.
It was something to do with Deshaun Watson.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll remember it.
Probably a massage therapy parlor or something like that. Watson's Happy Hands or some shit. I got some quick little NBA to talk about. We can boil through this. Got some UFC to quickly talk through as well, and then some wrestling to wrap it all up. Coming up on maybe like 2 hours worth of talking, so might as well just like I said, buckle down, barrel through it. I got a cheeseburger to go eat. Cheeseburger go to hot dog.
Cheeseburger go at hot dog.
So yeah, onto the hardwood, I suppose. If you got nothing else on the football field, Pau Gasol is going to get his number retired. I feel like the Lakers are going to retire number 16, just not the entire league, I guess, like Bill Russell last year, or last week that we talked about. I just thought it'd be good. So, like I said, tip our cap to him. Not only just being on the Bulls, he didn't really do anything too crazy here, but still very consistent, very productive. Very, very influential. Basically, the entire country of Spain basically playing basketball because of him. So good on him. Very respectable. A lot of Lakers diehards are gonna love this, and he was very much involved. Not just Kobe in the 2 championships. I'm not going to sit here and hate on Kobe, but Pau Gasol, you need to give him his due. It wasn't just the Kobe Bryant show there. He was very much the reason they were able to get those last 2 championships in like mid 2000s. So there you go. Garrett, very good. Going to retire the number 16 there. To at some point, I don't know how many fucking numbers. It's between them and Boston. They're going to have to go to fractions with how many fucking numbers are retired. Dude, on there.
That's what I feel about the Yankees. I mean, you look at the Yankees, there's so many weird numbers. Like Anthony Rizzo's 48.
You can't have any single digit number on the Boston Celtics, the New York Yankees, or the LA fucking Lakers at this point. I mean, there's just insane. Can't be 1 through 10. You can't be fucking 14, 16, 18, 10, 24, 26, 28. 30, 32, 35, just shit like that. It's just basically all the prime or all the cool even numbers are all gone. There gonna be people coming in like, all right, the hot rookie number 57. Oh God.
Yeah, like at one point, fucking hundreds of years from now, like they're gonna have to either just stop retiring numbers or unretire some numbers for like.
They can be like, oh,
like
maybe he wasn't as good as we thought he was.
Yeah, let's just say, I don't know, the Yankees re-sign Garrett Cole and they re-sign Judge and they go on to win 3 World Series. They're gonna retire their fucking numbers. It's like they already have so many retired. It's how many can you? And especially, I get basketball, there's only how many X amount of guys on their roster, so it's a little different.
But the odds of someone doing exponentially well to the point where you're retiring, 23. I mean, the Bulls are only like number 4, number 10, 23, and 33, and then now number 6 for everybody.
You don't got as many people, to worry about. But football, you got 53 guys. Baseball, you got 26. There's a little more there, a little more dudes to potentially get their numbers retired.
Yeah, I think baseball, besides the 2 teams that we kind of named, like you said, probably the Yankees and maybe Boston has probably a lot in there as well. But I feel like a lot of the other ones have pretty well maintained of not giving everybody a fucking their ring. They put them in the Wall of Fame or whatever, but they don't have to retire their number from the team. I think honestly the White Sox have a lot of numbers retired as well, but they're pretty well spaced out, I feel. So I won't just for my bias, I won't be mad at them. Let's see. Staying in the realm, kind of just in the Bulls. Bulls fans' hopes again being crumbled, shat on, spit on. Kevin Durant, who was somewhat rumored to be in the run for maybe being on the Bulls, is gonna stay in Brooklyn. All this fucking shit show, all this hey look at me bullshit again for nothing. So whatever, if you want to think he's a diva, that's just another notch in that little realm to add to Kevin Durant that he's a diva. He's got all these fucking Twitter accounts that he sits on and just talks shit on. So he's got a bunch of burners. It is what it is. Kevin Durant staying in Brooklyn. I don't really know. I didn't really follow too much up on this on all the drama that was happening, but I got again another free agent that the Bulls will not be touching anytime soon. That's all I had on that. If you had anything at all with
no, I don't give a fuck. I remember earlier I woke up and I saw the notification and I looked at it and I said, I don't give a shit.
There you go. Final little thing again, staying in the realm of the Bulls. Yeah, like I said, it's somewhat related. Michael Jordan, just to be more specific, is going to be playable in this next PGA Tour 2K23. I just thought that was pretty cool. You told me a couple other celebrities are going to be playable in this game too, but I just thought that was a nice big old fuck you to the Live Golf Tour if they bust out with a video game. But yeah, for as of right now, I might have to pre-order PGA Tour 2K23. I remember enjoying the last one and the one before that, so that was pretty good. As the White Sox, there you go. Eloy Jimenez just takes them deep. There you go. Fuck yeah, 2-0 lead right off the bat. So there you go. Looking pretty positive over here in Baltimore. That about wraps up the NBA right there for me. If you had anything else at all, you can finish up with Usman getting
those
knocked
2K
out.
games are always fun. I like to see what other celebrities are going to be in there. Hopefully, like I forgot the other ones that they named. I think what was it? Steph Curry.
Okay.
Steph Curry. I'd like to see like a Charles Barkley in there.
That'd be so much fun.
Maybe Tony Romo, Jim.
Okay.
Tony Romo's a great golfer. I'd like to
Yeah.
see.
Shockingly
other ones.
enough, Justin Timberlake, a very good scratch golfer.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that. I was watching like one of those compilations of the celebrity game that
Yeah.
they do, and they're like the best shots from the celebrity game, and they're like, oh, Justin Timberlake from like 2014 hit a fucking long ass shot. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Good job, JT. You had a
Yeah, you'd
boy.
be surprised how
Bringing
many. I
sexy
mean,
back.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
celebrities that are decent at golf.
Oh yeah,
It's never who
absolutely.
you think either.
Oh yeah, bunch of comedians. They always talk about on the podcast I listen to. They talk about who's good and who's got shit and all that. So yeah, that's it's a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, I love your idea with the Charles Barkley. At not only just have him in the
But his
game,
weird ass
having
swing.
having his weird ass swing being in the game. I would immediately make that my swing. I don't care how fucking goofy it looks for my creative player. I would just make me laugh
Just to
every single
troll
time.
everyone else.
Yeah,
takes
at a
an actual
gambling
3 hours to finish your round because all the fucking
the hacks that yeah. Add a gambling feature. You can start betting on yourself like GTA.
Yes.
Oh man, that'd be
How
great.
crazy would that be?
Yeah.
Him and John Daly paired
Yeah.
up.
Alrighty. Not gonna stay too much on UFC 278. Wasn't a juicy card in my opinion, other than the main event. So I mean, that's basically what we're gonna focus on. It's the only thing I really paid attention to be honest. I watched the whole thing. It was meh, like I said. Paulo Costa at some points was kind of looking like he wasn't gonna win it, but I forgot who he's going up against. Just
Luke
didn't look like
Rockhold.
it didn't look like he had
Yeah.
it the entire time. I don't know what the whole thing could have caught him at a couple different times. That more or less leads to what the main event was happening, where Usman won 3 out of the 4 rounds for sure. The 3 out of the four first completed rounds. He did. I think he dropped. I think he lost the first round.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's literally why you go to the whistle blows. It was this Edwards guy down and out gonna lose if it goes the distance. Gonna be unanimous decision. I mean, this is why you do what you do in this. And sure enough, he was able to fake a jab, and then as soon as Usman ducks his head out of the way, he just puts his fucking foot right where Usman puts his head, knocks it almost clean off his
He
shoulders.
fucked him up.
Yes, yeah, you see like I said, you see the sweat come out of his eye, come off of his eye, see it come off his bald fucking glistening head. It was a sight to see. Unfortunately, I was away from the TV, not watching it live. I was in the part of the backyard where I was just taking Rumpelmint shots because, like I said, we were at this going away party. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, get over here. We're gonna take some shots and go. And all I hear is the whole uproar of the garage going, oh fuck! And I got running in because I'm like, I had a bad feeling in my fucking ankle. I'm like, yeah, I just lost money.
Feeling in my ankle.
I had a bad feeling in my bad ankle that it's just it's not good for me. I just lost money, didn't I? I had parlayed Costa and Usman just a money line just for them to win. They were 2 heavy fucking favorites, so it came out to like minus 160. So nothing too crazy. But I was like, this will be a fucking chalk this one up as a W. I'll walk away. Like I said, walk away. It's the end of the 4th round. I got nothing to worry about. Pending anything crazy, I'm walking away with some money here. Let me go take some shots. Sure enough, I come back. He's on the ground. You don't know what fucking day it is.
Yeah,
so,
that was a scary sight. He was just
yeah. So fuck.
Oh.
I mean, I mean, it's always that the main event, something like that. If you're in that crowd, you experience that. There's probably nothing like that. People are on just an adrenaline high, even in the crowd. Edwards himself had to be beyond himself. I mean, he probably didn't even think any of that was real. I mean, what a crazy scenario. And that's literally what we always sit there and say every time we're down and out in something like, it could always happen. One move and that's it. And sure enough, he got it. So I mean,
that was one of the wildest comebacks ever. I mean, he was clearly losing that fight. He was even losing that 4th round, and he set that kick up absolutely perfect. Hit him right on the fucking chin, and it was perfect execution. Absolutely went night. Keep your butthole tight. It'll be fun to watch these dudes run it back. They definitely are. especially with Usman. I think he was going for, I think that was his 15th title defense or his 16th, one of those, and he was looking to break Anderson Silva's record.
Damn.
Obviously not going to get that now, but
It was
or
the
not
first
15th,
time.
not
It was
title defense, win in a row or something like that.
the first time he was taken down in 16 fights. It said
Yeah,
something like that.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, fucking insane that you were, and it happened in the first round, which gave me that. Like I said, in the first round, I'm like already betting. Like I had one leg already done. And I got like, all right, just one more. There should be a shoe in, right? And then he has like a shitty first round. I'm sitting there like, I gotta cash out. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And then I'm like, it should be fine the rest of the way out. Yeah. So I mean, what a crazy, crazy fucking exchange. Like we said, fucking down and out the entire fight. Maybe one, yeah, for sure, probably won the first round. Second, third, fourth round went to Usman, and then just I don't know. I don't really remember. Usman could have been a little cockier than he usually is. Didn't really see the toe stomping that I usually saw. Maybe he just wasn't in the same realm. Maybe he just wasn't thinking clearly. Maybe he was just feeling a little looser than he should be. Was just wasn't ready to wasn't able to protect it at all times. So I don't know what the mindset was. Didn't really hear afterward. So I was just in total shock, total awe. And then yeah, that was insane. That was a pretty fun one.
It was.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming up in terms of the UFC world and world UFC realm, but should be fun. But as always, we're gonna wrap this baby up with some wrestling talk. I got four little nuggets, four little stories. I feel like maybe if you're in the wrestling world, you know the big drama that's already going on, but we'll save the best for last, the best in the world for last. We'll go ahead and I'll throw it up to you really quick. Did you see why Chris Benoit was trending this week?
No.
Oh, so
Nah.
your boy Chris Benoit was trending because of the newest pay-per-view that's gonna be coming out for the WWE. Clash at the Castle, I believe it's called. Let me make sure. Yes, Clash at the Castle. Gonna be their newest pay-per-view across the pond for them. But their pay-per-view theme is by a band known as Our Lady Peace, a Canadian rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you already know the Our Lady Peace doing this theme for the pay-per-view also made and created the theme for Chris Benoit. That is literally the only reason why Chris Benoit was trending this week, just to have that tandem together. It probably could be because maybe Cody Rhodes had that influence when he was like, Cody or Our Lady Peace. It's my favorite rock band. He was on fucking Fully Loaded or whatever. I remember
seeing that.
Stone Cold podcast or whatever. So, yep, Our Lady Peace in the same correlation with Chris Benoit. So that makes Chris Benoit trend. If anyone was wondering why that was happening this week, that's always a fun one. Vince McMahon back in the news again. He's up to, I believe, so the last time we checked in, I think he was right around 11 million, 12 million in NDA payouts. He's now at a whopping 19.6 million in NDA settlements.
Jesus.
For the former chairman of the board. You got no chance of getting out of this one.
You got no chance.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's definitely, I mean, obviously he's already seen the way out. And now we kind of see the writings on the walls that this wasn't going to get any better than what it was.
No, it's just going to get uglier and
For
uglier.
for every dollar that we know right now, there's going to be another 4 or 5 million other dollars that we don't know about or whatever. So it's still not going to look good for whatever. Like I said, whatever else does get disclosed to us, it's not going to get any better. That's basically all I have to say. He's still very much in first place. John Laurinaitis still sitting second at 1.5 million. Hasn't budged. Hasn't budged since the initial
What's
NDA
the Sean Watson at?
He's at 5.
He can correct those numbers. Oh, okay.
He's sitting at 5.
He's a quarter of the way there.
Oh yeah. Now we'll see how that goes. Maybe that changes throughout the years. But yeah, that's like I said, Vince McMahon trending again in that direction. Well, maybe can you crack 20? Can you crack 25? We'll see how this goes. We'll keep track on the meter of the NDA meter. Let's see. Two more on the wrestling docket. Kenny Omega is back. This is what we were alluding to last week. We were predicting who's going to be the trio's tag team partner. Sure enough, I mean, we already knew it was going to be failed attempts to even sit there and waste our breath of who else was going to be it. Kenny Omega, sure enough. I love the way that they brought it out. Brandon Cutler comes out. He hands Justin Roberts a little thing, and Justin Roberts goes, and now, and sure enough, it goes into all the stats about Kenny Omega. It does this, does that. He's from this North Carolina, Kenny Omega. Yeah, so good to have him back. He was in this little compression t-shirt. I guess he might have to wear that when he goes swimming now. So that's fun. He has his little speech at the end of the night. You can take it or leave it as of who he may or may not have been talking about. Some people are alluding to the fact that he's like, oh, we're not a tribute act. They're making fun of FTR/CM Punk. We're not selfish. He's talking about MJF. We're not here for titles and a legacy. Cody Rhodes. We're not here for. He said something else, maybe about money. I don't know. Maybe that could literally mean anybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, just that was a good one. But I mean, just in terms of just him being back, like we can't just. It's a positive. It's great for AEW right now. It's a must. I feel like while we were sitting here with nothing in our hands, now we have everything again. We have CM Punk back. We have Bryan Danielson back. We have Omega back. We're getting now. I mean, we didn't really think about it, but Jungle Boy, he's going to be back. He's going to be a fully healthy Jungle Boy. Going to get the Christian versus Jungle Boy at All Out. But I mean, huge positive impact in terms of the talent that we're going to see on the cards again. And I'm getting excited because that Dynamite coming up in Chicago is looking like we're gonna get Young Bucks Omega versus the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay. And like we already mentioned last week, Ospreay and Omega might have a little beef. Maybe it's work, maybe it's not. We'll see how that ends up being worked out. I love it. Like I said, love the comeback. We'll see how it goes. I hope he just maintains healthy and stays where he's at.
And it's perfect way to get him back into it after 9 months. You know, not just hopping right into a singles title run. Sort of.
I mean, he had a huge spot right away. He
had that spot off the fucking thing. Yeah, that was insane. But I think it's smart. Get him into this trios. Maybe take a little pressure off of him. I know he did a great job at faking that one knee injury in the middle of the match. And I know it's just the gullible wrestling fan in me, and I actually believe it. I'm like, no way, do we just got him and he's like hurt again?
Yeah.
But then it's only for like a couple seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching wrestling. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just always fun like that. So I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and excited for, you guys are gonna see that on the fucking Dynamite. I think just looking at the bracket, I think it's pretty obvious we're gonna get. I think it's going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks against the fucking House of Black. And if that's the case for the trios titles, I don't know who I'm going to be rooting for. I don't know if I got to go with Malachi or my boy Kenny Omega. I'm torn.
Yeah. Now they're kind of leaning towards it could be the Dark Order, just with this little, they might call it audible, only because of this Hangman CM Punk drama that's been going on, but we'll kind of see how that maybe the dust will settle on that a little bit easier. But
I don't want to see Dark Order
I don't really want to see
any pay-per-view ever.
No.
Not even a fucking CSW pay-per-view.
Oh, by the way, CSW over the weekend was fantastic.
Dark.
CSW
Dark Order, that's why their name's Dark. Stay on Dark.
CSW had Rotten to the Core over the weekend, and Carlito was there. He took all of our apples. Just wanted to throw that out there. So that was a lot of fun doing that. I brought my sign, "Am I cool?" And I brought "My mom says I am." So just to follow up on that.
My mom says I am.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, that was a fun show too. I just don't want to get off track. Stay on the final thing, the meat and potatoes of what everyone's been talking about, basically. Some have described it as the Marvel Civil War. Pick your side. Are you on Iron Man? Are you on Captain America's side? Or are you on CM Punk's side? Or are you on Hangman's side? That's pretty good reason as to why I brought this T-shirt out for today. They're talking all this woo-woo about CM Punk
Holy
said
woo.
this, CM Punk said that. Hangman and CM Punk have real beef. The CM Punk coming in was off script. Some are saying that Punk might not have even have showed up in the first place, which I smell bullshit just right away. Just in my mind, to me, when I read all these quotes, I immediately was like, "Oh, who said it?" And my answer to all of it was, well, nobody, because no one provided any names, any sources, where this came from, other than maybe a name, a source from the back says a guy from Jim Bob Bonaducci from the I Jack Off podcast said that CM Punk said this. It's just a bunch of nameless mouthpieces that don't have any credibility just coming out of thin air saying that this CM Punk said this or Hangman said that. I don't believe any of it really, besides what Dave Meltzer says. And you kind of got to take what he says with a grain of salt as well, because he likes to exaggerate. He likes to fucking say more than he should. And there goes the Nerfy. Thank you, Dylan Cease, for fucking that up. And but I mean, all this fucking hearsay shit, like I said, I don't really believe half of it, especially when CM Punk himself posts on Instagram. If you see, he completely contradicts all of the reports, saying, like, "Oh, I'm not happy here. I'm thinking about quitting." Basically, the caption saying, "I can't think of a better place to be. Made so many new memories, bunch of new faces," and then he
Yeah,
finishes off with the Nick Castellanos thing
that
at
was
the end. This
hilarious.
is fucking hilarious, but it just goes to show you that like it's all false. Like all these reports from all these reporters, it's all bullshit. It's all
Yeah.
fabricated
You
horseshit.
know,
So
you
I
know
don't
what
know.
I'm starting to think, and I might be onto something. Nick, maybe shut me down if I'm not.
Okay.
I feel like it's very similar to the MJF fucking thing. I feel like AEW is building these feuds to look like they're real life feuds, you know?
It
And
could
maybe, you
be.
know, the whole MJF drama, no one knows if that was real or if that was fake. This mic is way
Yeah.
too loud. I gotta turn this down. Holy shit. No one knows if that whole MJF, you know, pipe bomb or whatever you want to call it was real or fake. And it gets more fans interested in watching AEW. And now it might be the same thing, like with all these contradicting reports like you're talking about. Who knows if this is real? Maybe this is just another one of these, you know, how do I say it? They're setting it up to make it look real, but it's really just the work, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows?
I can see
Making
where that's come
make these
from.
works a little more realistic to get more people
Yeah.
interested or something
It
like
would
that.
take a lot of added effort, which some would argue that AEW wouldn't be in the prime spot to do anyways. I mean, to do all that, you would need to like, I mean, basically, like I said, you're tipping off Meltzer. You're saying that, like, hey, run with this, even though it's bullshit. You're feeding a bunch of other people this. You're most likely
Yeah.
starting burner accounts for people to like throw these rumors in at, go on the forums, go on the Facebook pages and shit like that. All for what? Maybe a couple handful more people that are like, oh, this might be real. But for all those that are like, oh, this is interesting, I might click on. They're like, oh, I now hate CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's he's become everything he hates. He's become Triple H. He's become he's the barrier now or whatever. He doesn't push young talent. I literally saw a video of a guy burning the CM Punk shirt. So
Relax.
he
Yeah.
left a team for on the NFL or some shit. He burned the shirt like they would burn a jersey.
Uh-oh.
So
Our
I'm just
boy
like,
Troy just hit us up.
oh
Bryce
yeah.
Harper in his first rehab at bat
Mm,
goes deep.
there you go.
Uh-oh.
Uh, I mean, yeah. So just it could all be. I'm leaning towards there's a lot of bullshit involved. There was probably just a slow news day. Someone really excited wanted to ramp this up for whatever reason, which kind of can lead me towards this idea of what I kind of just said, which it be like the elite, i.e., like the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman finding some sort of, having their boys, having their like little guys get their agenda out, go on these, like I said, just out on these forums, get out on these Facebook pages, and just stir up all this bullshit themselves. I mean, it's
Yeah.
entirely
The
possible.
only thing that's weird, and maybe give me your thoughts on this one. Why are we getting this CM Punk Moxley match tomorrow instead of waiting until the pay-per-view? That was weird that it was just announced all of a sudden.
They're pushing it like Moxley and Punk can't not like get away from each other,
I get that.
which
Yeah.
could build the excitement if they want to force some sort of DQ on this upcoming Wednesday and still have it come in. But even then, you have another week afterward to be like, oh, something's up. So a lot of people are saying, and what it was something I really didn't think about up until now.
Yeah.
Sidebar of MJF is looking like he's going to make his return soon. So a lot of people are kind of coming up with a bunch of things like, oh, he's going to interfere then, and then he's going to challenge it all out, or they're going to hold off until all out, fuck him over then, and then create some sort of.
This whole thing reminds me, I don't know what year this was, but I do remember, just because Triple H is probably my favorite wrestler of all time. Triple H had the title, and him and The Rock were feuding, and it was like 2 or 3 weeks before WrestleMania, I think, or it was before SummerSlam, and they were set to have their title match at SummerSlam, and then they just had the match on Raw on a Monday night, and it ended in a DQ. And that's sort of what I was thinking too. I was like, is there anything behind them bumping this match up? Maybe Punk said he's not showing up at the pay-per-view and they still want to have the match, or are they just adding to this story a little more? Yeah, we'll see tomorrow night.
They could just be adding a little juice. Maybe, like I said, they get Punk in the ring, they get Moxley in the ring, and then I don't know. I mean, it's not what I have in my mind right now. Exactly. Just the lights go out, and then they're both on the floor, or one of them's on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're just
MJF
like, what happened?
Fucks over Punk.
Yeah. And all you see is like the dynamite diamond ring all bloodied in the ring just by itself. And like you said, who knows?
Nancy Drew book type shit there.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, he's back? Is he back? He's gonna show up? Is he gonna do this? Yeah, exactly. All you see is the scarf and the dynamite diamond ring. You're like, oh, who's that?
That would be insane.
That would be pretty good. Actually,
crazy.
Yeah, just thinking about that now, that's actually a little bit better. But I mean, I don't know. Just sit here and think that, like, I don't know, like Hangman would have any leverage in this. Just it's beyond ridiculous in my mind. If it really is coming down to like a beef between them, he needs to swallow his pride, shut up, and realize that the men that are that are making the money in this company are here. CM Punk is the guy, is going to be that guy. CM Punk is literally exposed half of these guys just by being there. And like I said, it's in that same realm of like, I wouldn't put it past the elite, the guys in there, to be petty little bitches, because I mean, you see it when the Young Bucks are out there. They don't like when FTR is chanted at them. I mean, Kenny Omega probably has his quarrels and whatever with stuff. Hangman gets his hurt feelings and whatever, but we literally saw Cody Rhodes change companies because of how he was being criticized by everything. So it's just like, I don't know. It's everything. It's just they can't take criticism from anybody. Their fans, their peers, their higher ups. It's just, if it isn't positive, they're not ready to hear it in my mind. So it could be a lot. It's just it's a shame, because I mean, I pay to see them and I like them. I love the matches that all four of them that they produce and what they're a part of. But when they're just petty and just, it's stupid on the outside, especially if it's truly over what Dave Meltzer is reporting, of it being over all about Colt Cabana, really? Because CM Punk and Colt Cabana had a falling out, you're gonna side with Colt Cabana, Hangman? Not a good look, especially when it's a guy that wouldn't, as Cornette says, he wouldn't draw in $5 worth of Chinese money. So I mean, it's just fucking he's not worth the trouble. Truly.
$5 worth of Chinese money.
I mean, it's just he's not worth he's not worth the fucking headache. I mean, he's probably a nice guy, probably works well with the young talent and whatever, but can you truly again, I don't want to sit here and fucking rip on Cornette or whatever people do, listen to him and then listen to us or whatever. This it's kind of what he said. He's just, can you remember a promo that he's done? Can you remember a match that he's a part of? No, because he's in the background with 7 other job guys doing the Dark Order claw shit. So not something you want to hang your hat on, Hangman. Wipe it clean. Say, if you got to say you're sorry, say you're sorry. If CM Punk needs to say it, whatever, yada, yada, clear the air, because you two, Punk and Hangman, are what can make money, not Hangman and Colt Cabana. So figure it the fuck out. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I got on here. I hopefully that, hopefully cooler heads prevail, as I always like to say. If AEW higher ups, Tony Khan, really just need to buckle down and just say, like, hey, fucking be friends, or be well enough to just make money and be able to have a match together without all this supposedly over the top drama, where to the point where if this doesn't get settled, talent will leave. And you know what? If it is talent like Colt Cabana and Anna Jay and Alex Reynolds, John Silver, all those guys in the Dark
Anna
Order.
Jay is fucking JAS right now. Come on.
Oh, that's true. But if it is all those people in the Dark Order, if that's the talent that's going to be leaving and all mad and upset, that's okay. I can live with that. I can sleep soundly knowing that Evil Uno won't be on the AEW card tonight. So yeah, that's okay with me. Whether it is just my bias or whatever, being a Chicago guy, being a CM Punk guy forever, CM Punk gets the nod for me in this instance because he has the numbers to back it up, that he is the guy. He will be the guy. He's the one that puts people over. He brings all the money in, so on and so forth. That's it. That's all I have to say. Build your legacy on what can be instead of what is, or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if that made sense, but that's it. That's it on wrestling. That's it on basically just about everything. I have actually, that's just about it on today. I gotta wrap this one up. It's been a long one. I feel like I gotta get out of here. So if you got anything else, you can kind of just wrap it up.
No, man, we got one more fucking week of preseason football, and then the NFL regular season fucking kicks off.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what other big UFC cards, but yeah, we got AEW pay-per-view coming up next weekend. That'll be fucking next week. Next weekend, right?
Yeah, Tuesday or when we record on Tuesday, I'll be going to the Wednesday night show that following Wednesday, the Rampage on Friday, and then of course the All Out pay-per-view on Sunday the 4th. And I just bought my ticket for FanFest, so I'll be there as well. Find out
I'm excited. I'm still upset I missed Forbidden Door. Still glad I got to watch it, but hopefully we get they need to start putting some matches together. I think we only have like 1 or 2 confirmed matches for the pay-per-view.
Sammy Guevara in Kingston, I believe, is set.
Okay.
It's going to be obviously a world title, whether that's Moxley and Punk or Punk and MJF. And then there is the trios finals, which will most likely be
I feel like we might also
Bucks,
get Athena and Jade Cargill too.
Yeah,
they've been sort of been building.
Yeah, we'll get that, and then maybe like Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa again.
Yeah, that is one. Yeah, that
I feel like that'll be mentioned. They'll run that back or something like that, and then
definitely gonna need some. Maybe Jungle Boy and Christian Cage.
That's in there as well. That's in there as well. The Christian Cage, Christian and Jungle Boy have a feud match. They're gonna have to throw in Swerve and Keith Lee with the tag titles in there. And Wardlow will have to have a match thrown together last minute. Unfortunately, just how the booking's going to be going as of now. So either way, it's going to be an exciting time. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fantastic. Still a lot of time, a lot of episodes of Dynamite and Rampage to get through to figure it all out. So all positives. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Thanks for doing all of that. Go ahead and, like I said, PointsBet SYS9. Help yourself out to 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Thank you, Troy, for listening. Thank you for everyone who's always listening. We got AFC North breakdown, so be able to maybe bring some notes on that. Be prepared for that. If you got anything else, You got nothing else over
No,
here?
that's it. Fucking
Take
Bryce
care.
Harper's back, Troy. We love you. I still
There
gotta
you
come
go.
give you your prize. And
Mm.
we'll see you cocksuckers next week.
There you go. Take care. Whoa.